Hello everyone and welcome. How's everyone doing? It's a wonderful evening and we're here again playing Wiki 3 with Lena,
Hello.
Ruben,
Hello.
Agonia,
Hey.
and Zep.
Ah.
And yeah, we're back.
I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna win. It's so funny how, it's just like you have this clear split of like who was online, who was playing video games before the 2010s, and who was joined afterwards, because the split is very clear. One are Wario and Waluigi fans, the other one are like, oh yeah, Mario and Luigi are actually kind of nice. It's like, no, everyone who's a Mario fan is like, red flags. You haven't been playing video games for a long time.
Why is
Probably
it a red
touched them.
flag? I mean,
It's just those people are sus who don't like Wario.
The only Mario game I've ever actually played myself is Galaxy 1.
It's a good game. I still need to finish it.
That's the only Mario game I've
I can't need to finish it because I actually wanted to get to Galaxy 2 because I always heard that's just better, and also Galaxy 1. And yeah. Also we're having Fritz Cola again. The cola. Digital imperialism. Not sponsored.
Yeah, we should get Fritz Cola branded bottle openers.
I mean,
I still use the bottle opener that I got at the station in Berlin.
Oh, cool.
The little walking man thing. I literally use that every weekend to open up the cola that I get.
How's it called? Those
bottle cap here is
what?
it's not not openable with a typical bottle opener.
Yeah, it's not a bottle cap bottle.
Okay.
It's like a screw.
We have some good bottle designs here. Like there's one, we have the one where you have the one where you screw them down. Very good ones. I generally think we should sell more soft drinks in them. Generally, start having mandatory glass standardized bottles that can be handed in and washed and reused.
Super fast.
Yeah, from all of Superfest actually. Then we would have cut down so much on waste.
We actually have multiple types of bottles and bottle caps that we use. A lot of the non-alcoholic bottles are generally screw caps, so you can twist them off with your hand.
Yeah.
But if it's alcoholic, and Mexican Coke does this, and I think some other one, like it's uncommon for non-alcoholic drinks to require a bottle opener to open them, which is basically just like pop the lid over the lip of the glass.
Do you have plop bottles in America actually?
Plop bottles?
Yeah, okay, so basically it's usually used for beer. And they have like a metal basically they have
Different question. Can we start?
Yeah, we can start.
Thank you. Now you can talk about plop bottles.
I mean, I'm sure I've seen one. I just don't really
They're
understand what
very,
you're referring to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, basically, that posting it in the Discord. Whoop. There.
Ah, yes. We don't use that often for beer, but we do use those for a lot of other things.
Yeah, like here they're used a lot for beer because like there are some we have like 5 standardized bottles, and German breweries basically run on the idea that they all use one of those types, and like per region you have different ones, but basically they're using those, and you hand them in back at the market where you buy them, and then they get shipped to the most local factory. They get washed out and reused. They go plop. Yeah, they go plop. Hello, Sophie. How are you doing?
Yeah, over here we have those as well, but like only for beer, and I think then only like one or a couple of brands. Heineken is in them. I don't know if they have like the exclusive or something, but like it's strongly associated that with Heineken. There are some. I have some other bottles that have some other bottles have that.
Yeah.
And the way
I
that,
did see a couple of local breweries that used that when I visited the Netherlands.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
a few years ago.
yeah. Like it does exist, and there are some other things. Like I have some non-alcoholic
Yeah.
stuff that use it, but primarily it's a Heineken thing. And
Yeah.
the way that recycling works over here, like supermarkets, you can hand in, like they have the like automats where you put the bottles in.
It's
Grolsch,
Grolsch,
yeah,
not
right,
Heineken.
Grolsch, yeah.
It was
I
like
forgot,
Heineken
yeah.
was the normal bottles. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. I got them confused. They're both green bottles. But like over here, like, you hand in, like you pay a little bit of extra for these recyclable bottles at purchase, and then you hand them in, like any kind of almost any kind of bottle with like the plastic bottles, glass bottles, large bottles, small
Yeah.
bottles. Even entire crates of beer bottles at a time, and you get like a little bit of money, and like you get a little extra money in return. So
Yeah,
like,
that's-
I don't think they get washed out and reused, but they get like recycled properly.
Oh yeah. Here, no,
Yeah.
here it's like they just really get washed and reused, and that's
Yeah.
like why they save so much fucking energy and just
It's even better.
money. Yeah, but like I think it's more of a particular regionalism thought to me. You know what? It's good to see that regionalism is also a thing in the Netherlands. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
It's a thing everywhere
There's generally
nowadays.
It
generally
depends how big the country is, I guess. If it's very small, then less.
yeah.
I mean, even
It sometimes depends on the history. Like
Is there regionality in Luxembourg?
believe it or not,
Maybe
yes, a little bit.
A little bit.
But Luxembourg is itself a German region. Let's just be real here.
I mean, also like you even have that kind of thing like in cities and even sometimes in smaller towns where like people from that part of town are like different. So it's
Yeah.
even on it's regionalism is just fractal. Like the closer you look, you find like smaller and smaller specific types of regionalism.
Yeah, like
Yes.
like here in Hamburg, you also have like differences between one side of Hamburg and the other one. And it's like that's just a thing that happens.
Like there's the rich people part, the normal people part, and the you live there if you have no other choice part.
yeah, but on the other hand, they're all more leftist than basically the rest of Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts of difference between the hamburger. Like you have the ones with pickles, without pickles, with cheese, without cheese, with bacon.
Yeah, but yeah, no. I think the differences in beer bottles is more like a lot of North German breweries because they were just used there the most. Used the plop bottles, and
They're very good bottles.
yeah.
Ruben's computer crashed.
Oh, okay, perfect. Then we just have to wait here. Yeah, no, they're like very, very essentially North German. Like there's like a whole cartoon figure from North Germany called Werner. They always drink out of those bottles. It's
Yes.
what?
It's important.
It's important. Meanwhile, in the more you go to southern Germany, the more it becomes, the standard Fritz Cola bottle, but instead of, with the screw, they just have the bottle cap on top. That's what they usually use for beer there. Because the thing is, beer, there's a big difference in how beer was consumed. This is also why they were, why it developed that way. Because, for example, in North Germany, it was,
sorry, computer crash.
we noticed,
Yeah.
the thing is that in... Yeah, the thing what I wanted to say is that in how's it called? In North Germany, like a lot of beer was consumed on the go. Like,
Here, Ruben's still in, I think. No? Yeah, that's here.
No. No.
The game recognizes him still. At least on my
Yeah.
side, it does.
Yeah.
it does, but probably it still needs a bit.
Yeah,
thought we
let,
can-
let it update.
Yeah, now it happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just needed a bit.
If the same player tries to join, that's in the game.
We had that issue last time, or not last time, but like on the previous stream where
Yeah.
someone was out and then someone tried to join in while the game was still like not done, realizing that they had crashed. And we ended up with the game thinking that there were two of them in there. It was very funny.
Yeah.
Some game can't figure out that's like there's two people.
Yeah,
There's two of
It
two
can
of them.
most of the time, but yeah.
But yeah, basically in North Germany, a lot of beer was consumed on the go, or from the bottle. So, what?
Nothing.
So there
I'm
was
not
like
allowed to say that.
So generally, there was like this. There was a general need of resealing the bottle. So they had the bottles designed that you could just they're closed again. Meanwhile, in southern Germany, a lot of beer was consumed stationary. If you go, for example, into a beer garden or so, they have like, the really big, for example, the Weizengläser. You just open it. This is why there's just a bottle cap. You open the bottle, and then it's long and slim, and you put it in like at a very specific angle, and you slowly put it, tilt it upwards while the beer is pouring in. And then the bottle was empty. The bottle was just there to fill up the glass. And one bottle was perfectly one glass, by the way. So, yeah. Beer knowledge.
Funny thing is that Nye doesn't really drink much beer as well, so yeah.
I mean,
More you know.
I drank one yesterday, actually.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I
thought you
did.
didn't drink too much, or
Non-alcoholic. I generally just drink it for the
fair
flavor.
enough, yeah.
Like,
Didn't we have a
I mean, there are really
conversation?
good flavor ones as well.
Yeah, I think we had a conversation like not so long ago about how people are like, it makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Meanwhile, I drink alcohol. It's like feels like how's it called again? I forgot.
something. It felt like something.
Sodbrennen.
Oh yeah.
Good feeling, a bad feeling.
A bad feeling in your stomach when like the acid is bubbling up.
Acid reflux.
Acid
Yes.
reflux, yeah.
Is that it?
It kind of reminds me of how people describe that when I drink alcohol. It's just like, yes, it's warm, but it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's just like I don't get a lot from being drunk anyway, so I'm like, who cares? I generally like how some of them taste. So
I don't.
Yeah.
I drank once on a birthday party when I was like 16 or so. Yeah, I was drunk. Didn't change anything.
that is probably just my history with brewing beer. That
It's a very boring drug, okay?
Yeah. I generally probably like it more because it's like actually, the whole fermenting process and getting a flavor profile out of that. That is probably what I like the most about it. Not, the alcohol.
Yeah.
That's just a side product.
I never tried many drugs, but I can tell you one thing. If you find someone who does drugs, especially like more mind-altering ones, it's very fun to sit them. It's very fun. Like, you walk one circle around them and they forget you're there and are very happy to see you again.
No.
Yeah.
Like seeing the same person twice in one day. It's awesome.
Yes.
That said, I have so for me at least, I have a very big aversion to drugs in general. I don't perceive, I understand that it is, but I don't perceive alcohol as a drug. That said, I do, it's not like I drink it all the time or anything like that.
Okay, Francis declared to warn me.
You're in again?
Oh,
Wait, why
Yeah.
is it running
Okay.
again? Who
I'm
unpaused?
back in.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you wanted. Oh, okay.
yeah, it would be nice to tell.
Yeah.
But okay, so you getting friends.
Yeah.
They want chat.
I am not in, I don't think I'm in this play.
No, neither.
They
am
want
I.
chat?
They want
Only
chat.
chat?
No, they also want.
They want most of you.
Yes, pretty
Oh,
much.
okay. If they only wanted chat, that would be fine. Because, chat's just a gigantic pain, and it's just constantly in famine, so...
Well, so they only have Chad as a primary demand.
So if I acquiesce...
If you back down, you would only give them Chad.
Or you wait a bit and see if you can get the British in.
Yeah, I would definitely wait and see if you can get the British in.
The Netherlands is leaning towards you.
I mean,
which
by the way,
feels
the French can't actually invade you directly.
No, they can.
They can.
The North.
Yeah, they have a war border on
If
the-
they have units stationed in Algier, they
okay.
could move to the front
Yes.
because of how. Those
Okay, because
work.
they only have Sahara. They don't have a border with the...
Front lines are weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can try and grab Niger off of them, maybe.
Well, first get Britain in.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
or at
okay.
least try.
So can we start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, okay.
You can pause after the escalation there. It's in the second phase.
France is very hungry.
Yeah, I used to make cocktails as a hobby for a while, like a year and a half. Very fun. Enjoyed it a lot. Like Now said, it's playing with flavors, and the technique is very fun. Like I stopped doing that for reasons, but like yeah, I got drunk a couple times. It's fun, but yeah, like it's.
There you go. Ruben, can you invite Britain? And for what?
I cannot invite. No, wait, I can if I wait with transfer states. Wait with. No, they want Benin or North Cameroon, and that's
yeah, that's not a deal.
Well, yeah, what's in
Benin is. I mean, I would. Benin.
North? Yeah.
Think
North
about
Cameroon
it.
isn't
But yeah.
North Cameroon. I don't know.
Here's
it has
the thing about Benin is a very, very, very valuable state.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
as far
yeah.
as like the North African states, North Cameroon is probably less valuable, partly because it's a split state right now. That
Yeah.
said, Ruben
logging
does
camps
have
and
some
agriculture.
industry in
I can call the Netherlands. I'll do that.
The Netherlands isn't gonna really do much,
No, they're
honestly.
not super strong.
So
sadly.
can how can they move troops to the border? Because
Ooh, France.
yeah,
So if they have units that ever get stationed in North Africa, then those units will move to
They
the border.
would run
If
out
they
of supplies, though.
Maybe. Supplies are a little wonky too.
Yeah, that's a problem.
At least they have no barracks in here.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering why the populace isn't revolting, but the answer is there are no buildings in there, except East Sahara, I think. So they're all on subsistence farms and happy.
Let's see.
I don't think they're moving troops to the border.
If there are not troops on the border, like
So
wait a bit.
the best way to test this, Ruben, the best way to test this is to mobilize your troops and see
Yeah,
if
that's what I'm
France
doing.
moves. If France starts moving troops, like keep it track of the front line. If France seems like they're moving troops to the front line, then they have their way to get there, of course. If
not,
they don't,
Conquer it.
while
all of
you're
it.
moving to the front line, then you're solid.
So France is mobilizing. Let's see if they can move anything there.
The biggest
what should I add for
concern might
war
be
growth?
naval invasions.
I mean,
Yeah,
actually, maybe really try to get.
I mean, you could just take Niger and Timbuktu. Timbuktu is technically part of my territory, but they are going there with French Senegal.
Yeah, that would cut them off, by the way. So, yeah.
Wait,
how
why is
valuable,
there? No, wait,
how
I've already
valuable
got
is
the-
North Cameroon to you? Because it does it has logging camps and it has agriculture and like you have the one industry in there.
It wasn't North Cameroon. It was Nigeria and Benin.
No, what Britain would take in order to join the war?
North Cameroon. Sorry, it was Nigeria or Benin.
Yeah, then
Like,
he said.
Not North
Nigeria.
more
or Benin.
Not North
importantly,
Cameroon.
Ruben, is France moving troops or can't they do it?
They're not looking like they're moving troops. And actually, the only troops that are moving right now are the Dutch
Okay.
troops. So
Okay,
Well,
so
then-
as long
that
as
case,
you
they
defend your shores, you can basically conquer everything.
Yeah.
You need to defend from 36, a size of 36 flotillas, although technically it's 23 and 13
Yeah, so.
as the split. You don't
Good
need
to-
to fight the ships, but that's like the limit of, like anything past those sizes, they're going to receive penalties, which you might be able to defend from.
I'm just moving troops to block a naval invasion, and then I'm moving other troops to invade. So split half and half.
Yeah.
roughly.
And you don't need to really split half and half. Like you just need a few troops to conquer everything up there. But yeah.
Yeah.
It might make sense just to have some infantry and cavalry quickly run over.
Yeah.
If you
Cavalry.
have cavalry, just put them in one stack, like a few of them, and 4 generals on rapid advance. And
Don't forget
that's
to
that.
put in the war goals for, I guess, the Sahara, like beyond French war reps.
Niger. East Sahara, maybe?
Sure.
I mean, anything that you take can also be handed over to the collective if we like it's ideal. Like, I think Sahara and East Sahara are technically Mascara's territory.
Technically, but we can shuffle that around as needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. That was my point.
Yeah. Oh well.
I do need to fight the British Senegal and French Senegal at some point.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
It's not offering me to take over East Sahara.
Probably because
No
you
interest.
Oh, you probably don't have an interest up there.
Yeah.
There is French Niger Delta. That would cut them off from a land border with you.
Well, if I
no,
liberate-
you can't
no,
actually get there.
okay.
You can't get there.
Yeah. So I'm only going to take Niger then.
Niger and Timbuktu.
And if you do like transfer puppet, would that pull the puppet in the war? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, French Senegal is already in the war, but Oyo is not. Yeah, you could.
French
try and
Senegal,
do
it's
Senegal.
spread over other areas as well, so
Yeah.
I'd rather. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think I've chosen what I'm going to do. So
Yeah.
The Dutch have a border with French Senegal on the Ivory Coast.
yeah, but they can do what they want
Yeah.
to do there. But
But that is not French Senegal's territory, like their
Yeah.
capital.
No.
Their capital is in Mauritania.
Senegal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I own Senegal, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
But there is the French Niger Delta. I know that
Yeah.
you can't get there now, but like one ship could naval invade there.
I don't have one ship because I was
Yeah.
gimping on my military so I can actually build
France.
stuff. But
and beat
then France
France.
invaded.
Yeah, it's just that they're colonizing, and I don't know if they're going to reach your border or if the British are going to reach your border first.
Oh, be the British. They've expanded a bunch more.
I mean, their pace is
Different.
similar to the British pace.
So,
Let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
More taxes.
Actually, the French are expanding faster than the British right now. They just started later.
If you need, I could join in, but I'm also still working off the bankruptcy thing, so I'm weaker.
I don't see
would
why,
you
why he would.
something, but
I would need.
French,
Why would he need help?
why?
Yeah,
You would
I know
just
that's why
open.
I'm not. I'm just and that's why I'm not joining immediately. Also, French Senegal request that we support their independence.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's do that.
yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Why am I turning to America all suddenly inactive?
okay, I can bring over the British with liberate subject.
Ooh. Ooh.
What subject?
French Senegal.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That would
Yes.
be really juicy.
That is. Oh, that's lovely to see. Ooh.
Yes.
You know what would be the
Since
best?
I'm not involved in a play, I could go day one on
Yeah.
French Senegal.
You know what would be even funnier? While they're doing that, get Inner Mauritania from the British.
That does
No.
actually give me a land border with the British because the British border the
Yeah.
French.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Messina, basically.
It was a good. Oh, yeah, like. You know, we just collectively became Zelensky, aka we like the British.
Who
Genuinely,
doesn't like the British right now? Everybody does.
honestly,
I mean,
I'm not
better
blaming
than
him.
Americans. So
I'm just going to say it. Mm-hmm. If you visited the USA and you're way happier to afterwards visit the British King. Then the USA is really fucked up right now. Anyway, the trans people really don't like it there right now. That sucks.
I mean, I've
just worried.
I've kind of been saying that the U.S. is pretty fucked up for the last couple of years.
Oh, but it's gotten a lot worse now. I mean, you've got the Poles actively considering developing nuclear weapons.
I mean, honestly, on that point,
did you not see Donald Tusk's tweets?
Yeah, but also here's the thing: Macron just basically came and were like, "Hey, listen, Europe needs nukes. France can still provide them. How about we exchange all the American nukes with French nukes?" And like, listen, in these times, I'm just gonna say that's actually not a bad proposal. Like, in the sense of not that everyone should produce nukes, but more in the sense of
Oh, nuclear proliferation is back on the table.
It is just
Same
back.
thing with
Sorry.
landmines and cluster munitions, and that's the one funny thing is like Trump's like, oh, we can't go against Russia because they've got nukes.
Yeah.
But we all rely on the US nuclear umbrella. If the US nuclear umbrella goes, then Japan, South Korea, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, everyone's going to end up developing nukes.
Austria demands transfer Oman from me.
If there would ever be a EU army, this is the time for it, honestly. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Von der Leyen just actually said they're freeing up a bit a unified European defense budget of 865 billion euros. So, the individual...
Lena, you're probably fine. Just defend navally.
Yeah.
So that the individual countries can arm up and specifically can also do bulk orderings, but together. So
it's just Austria. They can't do shit.
It's just Austria.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I just noticed Greece.
Yeah, they're Russision.
You got your land back, but at what cost?
So that's gonna be good. In general, I can say a few things about this. First of all, the European standard rifle is probably gonna be the HK416 at this point, because here's the thing: France is using them, Germany is now using them, Norway is using them, and let me tell you, if I think the Dutch are probably Hello Netherlands, you're probably also gonna modernize from your old cold guns at some point. You probably
they're Canadian.
Yeah, it's
Damascus.
It's a cold variant.
It's a licensed build Colt.
Like, you probably will upgrade from then at some point, and it's like, you're probably also gonna get the HK416 at this point.
Oh, actually, no. So, Sweden and Finland aren't going with HK16s. They're actually going with
they have their own ones.
It's not the AR-15, but it's a Psycho built one. It's the the Finnish company. That one.
Really, the Swedish are building the Finnish ones have their own thing. I mean, the Polish also have their own, but it wouldn't surprise me that if there is a big rearmament, a lot of European nations are just going with the HK416 because the two biggest nations in the center of Europe have already adopted them. The Dutch and Belgians, they generally work together anyway with France and Germany, so the bulk buys just make more sense at this point. And that is what is happening under PVV. It is very funny what is happening right now. I keep saying, a lot of people, especially US and Russia, really thought Europe is much too has too much infighting and would just collapse under any pressure. And the complete opposite happens.
And then
it's like, no, fuck you. USA is like, ooh, who's gonna fill that budget to a cut of Ukraine? EU, and then the EU is like, yes.
I mean, it did take the external political threat of the
that's
US
the
to cause the uniting, but there's a point there.
Yeah, but like, I think the biggest part about this is that I really feel mentally, because this is happening across a broader political spectrum. Like, the Ukraine war was one thing, but Donald Trump right now really is shifting it from, you have more left leaning to centrist to conservative parties, and they're all very much aligned right now. Britain, Germany, and France are working together with basically having different governments, and they're
After
all
Brexit
pulling
as
on
well.
after Brexit, and they're pulling on one string. That is basically Was there ever a point in the history of Europe where the three major powers literally worked together on one goal? Never. It was always either Britain or France, Britain or Germany, France or Germany. It's one of them. They were never together.
Britain's treaty port has an uprising.
Well, we could say part of Germany if we're talking about Roman times.
But that was more like... They weren't individual nations back then. I have no idea why Twitch refuses to give encoders, Levinson. Sorry. But yeah, it's right now unprecedented times, and you love to see it actually. I can almost guarantee you because here's the thing. The fact that our new government already said Ukraine has to win at any cost is that's not. There's not gonna be a tumble over and just roll and just end it mentality here.
Ooh, it's crashed again. No. Okay, my game didn't crash.
Okay.
It just froze for a second.
Oh, okay.
You really need to check your PC again. But
I've used the latest BIOS, and that might have problems. So
maybe
might need to update the BIOS if there's yeah.
But yeah, basically, it's very interesting to see how Europe currently is just turning around full speed. We just haven't had that in history, and it's again, arms development has sped up. Generally, a lot of countries are now like, okay, you know what, fuck it, we're going for our NATO spending now. And this is
not all yet. Some most,
yeah.
Not all.
But there's gonna be more now because again, the big EU fund, they're definitely going to help with that. Sweden, Finland, and Poland is they're just out for blood at this point. Poland is basically just waiting for one stray rocket. Give me one stray rocket. Let me just channel Article 5 once. We want to fucking end the Russians. And you know what? I get it. The Polish, Germany got beaten up in World War II. They're humiliated. They're done. The Polish-German relations are better now. They're like, okay, you got it, but Russia got away, and the Poles never forgot. They never forgot. They still want revenge on that backstab. It's like they're just waiting for that. But yeah, it's very interesting, and I can tell you that there will be bigger things happening because, for example, I can almost guarantee you that the Ukrainian railway system, if that war is over, it will be rebuilt to a European standard. There will be trains from Kiev to Berlin, running on they will make train networks like that just to be, even if they're not the most used ones, they're gonna be symbolic. This whole a Ukrainian network is now a European network. It's running on the European standard. It's not different anymore. Stuff like that. Let's make Warsaw the capital of Russia again. Poland, probably. Oh, they do. If the current Polish could, they would revive the Lithuanian-Polish Commonwealth. Just because they could. But yeah. Generally, it's interesting, but also, have you heard about the fact that our next government wants to have a 500 billion, spending package for infrastructure? Yes, for railways, fixing streets, and also,
from the party that over 20 years did not do that.
Yes, and they're now He has 500 billion
Better
to
late than
fix
never.
fix the rails, build new rails,
But you have
build
to
new
keep in mind,
schools. It's
the
like,
last government tried to do that, and the CDU blocked it. Like, we know actually economy. And then with that and like anti-immigration laws, he lies himself into government somehow.
and now he's just doing the opposite. You're like,
Was that planned?
I don't think it was planned, but also it is very, very funny to see how, like, it's like, I'm an economist. We can't make more debt. Gets elected. Okay, we need to make massively more debt. That's like the only way to fix our economy. Like, I mean, you're right on the second part, but still.
I mean, here's the thing: if you've got a robust economy, then deficit spending is
Absolutely true.
an effective way to get out of debt.
Especially if
The problem is with the U.S. is just that we didn't do the process properly.
Yeah.
For the
Like,
last
the thing is, for example,
Yeah.
the key part is there are some right-wing, tabloids that don't know, like, this is so much debt, but like every economist, from the is basically saying right now, listen, we have such a big, difference between our GDP growth and how much debt we have. We can easily could do triple that amount. No problem. Like, we are in such a good position, we can have that, especially since GDP has stopped growing as much. And they're like, yeah, we need to fix, for example, the railway infrastructure, just period. And that's more than enough money for that. But also, digitalizing and upgrading the school system, just countrywide. I'm there for that. That's what needed.
Ruben, I just
Yeah?
remembered one minor problem with the war that you've got.
Yeah.
Because you have French war reps as your primary demand, you need to occupy something that is incorporated state
Well,
of France.
Britain is invading France. They're trying to invade France. So.
Okay. But yeah, in general, I would say...
Yeah, it's not going well though. France has got
Yeah.
This is why you need to make sure that you put in your demands before, when it's with these kinds of wars. This is why you need to put in your demands before the before like it auto selects something.
Yeah. Oh,
Which, to be
So-
fair, it shouldn't,
Yeah.
but...
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, and I'm just saying, I'm generally, like, surprised by that, because, like, in general, like, a big bill for, like, just actually finishing up, like, overhauling our train system, generally down for that, also buying more trains, down for that. Similarly, for example, but also having money for schools and universities, hospitals and such and the general energy infrastructure that gets more robust. Generally, very much down for that, because if you just think about we are at war,
Okay,
all that
slavery
critical
ban.
infrastructure needs to be better.
Let's see. Who did I rival? I rivaled someone. Rival. It's the vessels. There. Sokoto, yes.
What I would say though,
Ruben, do you want me to war you?
should probably do the can you
No,
actually
I'm fine.
I can ban your slavery.
you could ban my slavery.
I think I would.
No.
Let's see.
Your choice. It would.
Actually, yeah, you could ban my slavery. That'd be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then let me put an interest there.
I mean, for example, I would still say, now that we have so much money, make a direct route between Amsterdam and Hamburg. No more turning around. High-speed rail between Amsterdam and North Route. Let's go. Let them run. But yeah, it's like, I'm generally, it's very interesting, especially now that they changed how they approach, reworking that, working on the railway system. Generally thinking this might be a good HSL mod. Let's go. Yes, I generally think this is good. Not very good. Like, in a few years, we might actually have our railway system is actually running again well. So, yes. I mean, that's actually an interesting thing. What?
Why is invading France so difficult?
Because
All their troops.
You- It's 2 regions, and France is very good about protecting their like protecting
France-
naval invasions.
France
Yeah.
should have more regions, actually.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Britain
Yeah.
has only 3 and two. Yeah, 2 in the mainland, and you can pretty much always land from the North Sea. Like,
Yep. I mean, I guess you could try and just do a crap ton of naval invasions and try and overload the use the exploit basically.
can
You
you
could
then
do that.
Can you accept, Ruben?
Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks.
Yeah. Don't want the Netherlands on my ass.
So one of the things that you need to remember, Ruben, is that the UK can be knocked out of this war, because there's no war goal on them.
Well, if I back down from my demands, I can get a white piece, so...
It would be something, but also...
Wouldn't be ideal, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can you win? That's the question.
Unlikely. Since Ruben has no boats, he can't really participate there.
Fair.
Yeah.
How is it actually looking like? Are they going to go beneath... you need to check. Are the French losing that faster than the Brits? And are they... can't be beneath 0 because...
Oh, yeah, French are on plus 19, British are on 72, they're higher than mine, which is 67.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe try waiting a bit. If they land, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
They should make it so that you can drop war goals during a war.
Yeah, and like add them in some way also as well.
Yeah.
Like that happened in like real in World War One, and like joining wars midway, which is literally like Italy.
Yeah, Italy. Yeah, it's just...
it's generally normal. Like, yeah, maybe you have a goal, like you want to take Alsace-Lorraine, but if you march into Paris, then
You can take more.
you can take more.
But yeah.
And like another thing about like that is something I despise the like peace conference system in Hoi 4, but the idea of the war is over and now we negotiate the peace, that is better than like, oh, we know the end.
Yeah.
Like you don't decide every term of the peace treaty before the war begins. Like you decide that at the
Yeah.
negotiation table.
I think the...
And also,
yeah.
pieces should be more like there should be more room for like two-way pieces where both sides like gain and or lose something instead of it's only one side.
Ideally,
Yeah.
you only put in the initial. You should only be able to put in the initial demand in the lead up to war, and maybe a repercussive demand. And as the war drags on, you either build up score or you build up something else.
Can I say one
that
thing?
allows you to input more demands.
I would say that
Yeah.
war goals should have an effect on, like, you make claims on them, and those would make it cheaper to get them, in later negotiations because you already had a claim on them. But also, if you hold them and such, you would actually get the war done quicker. I think that would be a good thing of like, okay, you plan some goals, but then you need to check, okay, how much can I actually get from them? That would be more sensible in my opinion. Probably also abusable, but I mean...
Is this war goal system not abusable? No.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this just... back to trains. Trains are fun. Generally, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of good stuff happening, Also, they want to change it so that, communes can have a higher debt ceiling, like, they can take on more debt, which is also really good, because, communes need that, and, like, just, I'm generally in favor of that proposal, and, ironically, yeah, basically, people made, there were like some questions, and like it's favored by such a wide margin in the population right now, and like, yeah, it's interesting to have interviews, and then like old people are like, yeah, it's debt, and it sucks that the younger people need to basically sit on that debt, but also like, if we didn't do the debt, they wouldn't have a good future. So rather a good future where you can pay off that debt than no future and still have debt. And like, yeah. it's good.
Yeah. Like, if you have a big economy, like generally, if you have an economy, you can deficit spend, but the smaller your economy is, the lower your margin of error is, basically.
Yeah. And also that would mean, for example, they can definitely finish like the U5 project here in Hamburg, maybe even put on the tram system they wanted to build, who knows? I'd be down for that. I want some trams here. Gimme trams. I really like trams, actually. They're wonderful. You still need them. You still need them in conjunction with, the subway line, but they would fit so well as an orbital system, like no question. Maybe one day.
Trams are like TB railways inside the city.
Yeah, they are. And if they have good right-of-ways, they, again, great orbital lines. And if you have good right-of-way and good orbital lines, you can still upgrade that to a full-fledged metro system if that, if demand gets too big. But still, that's one thing.
Is anyone able to take 4.7 million debt from me?
4.7. Let me just check. I have 2.8
After
million
the
gold
war.
reserve. No.
Maybe.
Nope.
I am
Okay.
slightly after the war, maybe, but I don't know what it would do to my interest.
Nothing good.
Yeah.
Unless you higher in the ranking, and unrecognized major is okay, but you already went bankrupt at least once. So I wouldn't.
My problem is I got screwed over with the interest because I was just barely okay, and then all of a sudden, and that was after because I had accumulated interest from the previous war, and the problem is that I got the coup event, and one of the first events that I got for the coup was increasing my interest rate by 15%,
Yeah.
which put me over the limit of what I could sustain, and so now I'm spiraling.
I mean, that's why you never go into debt as a small country, but yeah, if you have to for whatever reason, and then that event comes, then you're fucked.
Yeah,
But yeah,
unfortunately, I had to for the war.
Yeah, I don't have the gold reserves necessary. Like, I would be put half in my debt limit right now with that. So I can't, sadly.
I have a feeling that Ruben, I have a feeling you're going to be sitting at war for a while.
Yeah, I'm basically waiting for the British to give up, and then I can propose a white peace.
Probably
then
not.
Everything goes back to normal.
I think you can already get... No, they do. If the British leave, I doubt the French will give up, but maybe.
No, they will.
Well, the AI reevaluates if a party leaves,
Yeah.
So
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So part of their acceptance is like half of their acceptance is based off of the relative strength of your side, which includes the British.
Okay.
The other half is their loans, but yeah.
It's just the British are absolute failures at landing in France, and France is such a fucking pain to naval invade.
I mean, honestly, the British were never good at naval invasions. They tried one on their own that failed, and then they needed America's help.
Yep.
I'm guessing that French Senegal won't, at least.
No, probably not. Not unless the British get a foothold.
Oh,
At least the French are very stagnating in the GDP right now.
so that war really is, yeah. Oh well.
Oh, I'm probably about to declare bankruptcy soon, so that's not good.
Yeah, sorry, can't take on that debt. If it was a bit smaller, maybe, but not right now.
You don't have the gold reserves for that?
I have just 2.7.
Yeah, just- yeah.
No.
You would also be half in debt, similar to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, like I am. Once the war is over, I should be able to get out of debt. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm not that. I'm 1 million in debt, but I have a credit limit of 20.5. So.
Oh well, but yeah. Ah.
Yeah, like I said, if once the war is over, I could take it on, but I don't know if that would like debt spiral me. Because it probably would.
Yeah,
You
probably.
know, I wish that the like budget thing would tell me, okay, how many more months before I go into. Never mind. I just went straight in there. Yeah,
That's hard to predict
I'm declaring
since
bankruptcy right away.
yeah, it's technically hard to predict since you're still building, which is like irregular money expenses when the building gets done, and depending on employment and unemployment changes, your whole credit limit changes.
Well, my buildings are probably going to get bought up by you guys. Well, by your private industry, which is going to be rough. I'm not even constructing and I'm losing money. That's not good.
Oops.
Yeah, that's terrible actually.
Yeah, even putting taxes up to the highest level wouldn't save me. For now, I've got some gold reserves from the bankruptcy claim, but yeah.
Yep.
Like I'm building lots of gold mines right now. If I can get to a good surplus, I think
Yeah,
I
I'm
might.
losing out on. I'm losing out on 4.4k. Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
That should help.
That does help a lot. Thank you.
It would give you a bankroll, but I'm already funding lobbies in Chile to, you know, what you do with bankrolls and stuff.
Thanks. Good call.
Okay.
Portugal has so many defensive pacts.
I mean,
And most of them were tiny nations and whatnot, but
Yeah, but now they have Spain.
ooh.
yeah, they started with Spain like that, so.
Oh yeah, I know at least one person in this, two person in this call know it already, but I want to hear an interesting story I learned yesterday. So, remember when there was the PC gaming show last year and Space Station 14 came out? It basically was a VIP in that community for a few weeks.
Yeah.
No. The interesting thing was, it was basically only, European person streaming the game. And basically the admins of the game were like, she's streaming, protect her from weird raiders and other bullshit, because they apparently had such a shit show going on behind the back, because they were like, people coming and trolling and doing other bullshit. They basically were like, yeah, everything is normal here. I was just, listen, I was blissfully unaware. I was like, oh, this seems rather nice. And apparently I was just patrolled by the Space Station 14 Secret Service being like, we need to keep this chat clear that no one spams swastika emojis or so.
Come on, British, they will invade. Please work.
So yeah, that happened.
Ruben, if it didn't happen the first couple times, it's probably not going to happen at all.
I know. I can cope and
But
taking
I
some
mean, you'd
cope
have this
every
if
once
it
in a
weren't for the
while.
French. You would have had this if it weren't for the French war reps.
Yeah, you definitely should have looked
Like
at that.
that's the singular.
I do not like that they are defaults as well.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
especially
Well, so it's a holdover from the original design where war reps weren't required. Like you didn't need to control integrated territory for war reps. Like you could, for example, go after French Indian Ocean territory. But now it has to be incorporated territory, and France doesn't incorporate anything except for their mainland unless they have the revolution.
So
Yeah,
like they.
not needing to invade incorporated territory to get war reps is actually like I can't remember exactly about the Eastern Front, but on the West, like German troops were still well into France when the armistice was signed in World War One, and they still were made to pay war reparations.
Yeah.
So that's like
Yeah.
it was also easily abusable simply because how armies work.
that is true.
Yeah.
Like just look like north of Venezuela. There's so many small islands.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's
It's
just
just-
one thing, but things like these are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like south of Sokoto, there's Spanish South Cameroon. And below that is North Angola. Like you can just invade there.
Yep.
On British, give up in the war. Let me sue for peace.
Well, they're on their way. They're down to
I know.
31.
It just takes some time. It's quite a while.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, on the one hand, you can argue they're your ally, they should be on your side. On the other hand, we know they're not your ally, they just want to liberate French Senegal. So they shouldn't. But in the end, I don't think Britain should be needed to agree to your peace deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, you can just talk to the French and say, yeah, let's bygones be bygones. And then the British and the French are still at war. That would be fine.
Yeah, then it's their problem.
They probably should hate you a bit for it, since you basically just backed out, but would be fair.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm waiting for Austria's war support to tick down so I can white peace them out. I didn't have any good war reps to press on them. Any good war goals to press on them. The only ones I could press were things like where I would need to invade Austria itself. So I just have war reps as the only war goal, and I'm just waiting for a white peace. I did try to invade them a little bit, but it didn't work. So I'm like, yeah, sure.
Really, they're comparatively easy to invade with their extra strategic region, but they're still, like, land war, not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know you guys have played Monster Hunter Wilds a lot more.
I mean,
I'm at 40 hours, I think.
so Agonia's basically through with high rank.
Not just Wilds, but I mean all the Monster Hunter
A
series.
few thousand hours, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, we played it.
What the fuck is a palico?
They're cats.
And why the fuck is it some weird looking cat?
I mean, they're
Like,
cats.
who chose that?
The
And also,
designer.
are they slaves? Because it kind of seems that way.
Okay, no. The thing is, okay, palicos are part of us. Okay, so there are a few species in the world. Okay, basically there are the tall ones, which are humans and vivarians. So by the way, if you see someone that have stubby feet and just 4 fingers, that's not AI generated. They've always been like that. Okay, just don't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay, palicos, on the other hand, they are part of a species called. Let me just check really quickly. I sometimes mix up the names because they're like a bunch of species. It's not felines, no.
Part of me wants to invade French Senegal, but I
Okay,
can't.
no, they
Like,
are the
there's
felines. You're right. No, the
Fun
felines.
fact, I know
sorry.
that from Arclights.
Sorry, felines are lineans. Okay? So the thing about lineans is they're basically a species of. They're basically small.
The small folk.
There's a small folk. They're kind of small, intelligent beings.
Prussia is attacking France. To unify Germany. We're good.
Oh, yeah, wait. Yay! Oh, maybe Britain can invade? Naval invade? I mean, that was now going negative.
Yeah, but until they're at minus 100, they're not dropping out. So
Yeah.
You might be able to pressure war goals.
If you can get involved in the war, then yes. But
No, I mean, like if France gets beaten up badly enough by Prussia, like if Britain will actually be able to land this time, then there's a Dutch landing that's unopposed in Provence,
oh,
and like, there's two Dutch landings and they're both unopposed. Like France has moved all its troops.
maybe send some troops
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
To Britain?
It takes a long time for naval invasions as well. So
Also, Ruben, defensive pact.
not right now. Not right now. I mean, also, you've been pulled into this as well, which is not good. So
Would I?
no,
Would I be pulled?
yeah,
No.
probably.
no.
I was
Defensive
attacked
pact doesn't
outright.
instantly trigger. No, defense pacts don't instantly trigger. They
They
would
not? Oh, okay. I
they
forgot.
thing to call in as instead of a war goal. There's a landing. There's landing.
Right?
Yes. Like the reason I'm asking is I got the anti-French lobby gave me an opportunity to sign a defensive pact with you to make them happy.
Wait, I landed.
Yeah. It's
They're pushing in
happening.
real hard.
Wow. Yeah, because France is now fighting Prussia.
The troops are
They're
going
going to
to
start ticking
France.
down now. France is starting to tick down now. Defend that, Ruben. You should probably defend that front line as much as possible.
Oh, I'm sending troops.
Yeah.
Which takes a wee bit because
Yeah.
they've got shit.
Dutch are pushing hard.
Yeah, I mean, the France
Yeah.
has now to fight Prussia. They have a two-front war right
So,
now.
Yeah.
have you explained the
War on
felines
two
yet?
fronts
No, I
never
haven't.
ends well.
You just switched topics, so
Yes,
you know.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no. So basically, felines. Okay, palicos. Okay, palicos
Are felines
also-
with a
are
pelican jaw?
felines. Yeah, so they're felines in millings, and they're just called palicos in general. But like, they're part of the species called lineans. There are a bunch of lineans.
Yeah, you should build up army. Britain hates you.
Oh fuck! I have some army, yes, but oh, that Equatorian Britain hates me. Not
No, Britain hates you.
why?
You are a natural subject.
Probably because you're in.
Senegal.
Probably because you're in the territory that they were going to colonize.
Probably.
And naturally,
Senegal's independent.
yeah.
Yay!
You can invade now.
I'm going in.
They
go
have
for it.
Austria and Denmark are supporting Senegal's independence, but they're not a subject anymore. So I don't know if that will work.
That shouldn't involve.
Bahrain asked me to support independence, but that's against Britain, and I don't want to fight Britain, so no.
Spain might get involved. It's unlikely, but if I push too hard, they might. I should be fine, though.
Don't forget Senegalese Windward Coast, that's inside Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So since we're also playing Vicky, you need to probably be faster with your explanation.
I can't be faster with explanation because everyone keeps interrupting me.
Because
That's that's a you problem. If you want me to explain,
things are happening.
yeah, but
Be a bit more flexible, okay? I mean, you're already a natural subject,
Okay.
so you need to be flexible.
yeah.
Looks like I should be able to get this. Thankfully, Senegal has no troops, so even with my debuff, I should be fine.
Oh, you got enough infamy that our relations dropped enough that our investment is broken. I'm improving relations,
Yeah,
so it should be fixed.
Yeah, I went above 51 because I wanted to ensure that Senegal didn't back down.
I mean, very good. Like,
There's no escape
Yeah.
this time.
yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
worry
work
that if
on
I leave them alive, that they'll
Yeah.
find they'll find someone to
Britain.
protect them. Britain, most likely, yeah. Oh, finally, my company is expanding a bit more.
Very nice.
Oh, I just realized I can't do munitions plants because I don't have lead.
I mean, you can, you just need to import lead.
Yeah. How much does it consume?
I think 20?
20 lead.
Yeah.
That would. Yeah, it's 20. I guess it's doable. But first, I'd need to build explosives. And I also need to get out of government admin. Well, trying to get this constructed is going to be painful. Though technically, Oyo would be willing to join my side. What would they even want? They want an obligation from me.
Oh, they might cash that in for support independence. What I'm thinking.
Oh, hold on.
They just
They
joined.
just opposed me.
Yeah, they were swayed
They
by
joined
Senegal.
Senegal.
Yeah, they were swayed.
I lost my interest in Niger. Oh, Ruben.
Yeah?
Shit, you can't join.
Yeah, 'cause I got a truce with them, I think.
Yes, because you have a truce with them. But this is an opportunity to steal Oyo from France.
That's enough right now.
No?
I've
I
had enough
can't,
Ruben,
I can't
to
make a
build.
You
demand
can
of
steal
them
it.
because I don't. I can't steal it myself
What do you
because I
need
don't
to
have.
do?
You have 0 infamy anyway.
Concur. Well,
So, hold on. No, it's not actually. So joining my diplomatic play is how it would happen because they sided against me and France is not involved in the play.
Yes.
Because Oyo is still the protectorate. So what would probably have to happen to get Oyo for Ruben is either Agonia or Lena joins for Oyo. Because I don't have the time to put, or I don't have the ability to put up an interest there. Especially not in the time that we have left.
What would
I'm just
that-
gonna leave it. I'm fine with Oyo as it is now. It's just
But you know that the
I
goal
can't-
is to reclaim all of Africa in this
Yeah.
stream.
and I've gotten a good way towards
And you can
that.
do
If anything,
more
I'd take
that.
Guwahati.
Well, I'm just saying that they will sooner be probably France, and then they're at your border again,
Yeah.
and then will attack again, and Yeah. So,
Well,
I
because the
can't,
whole
I
thing
can't
isn't
ask for
simple.
transfer Oyo. I can't ask for I can't ask for transfer Oyo. Where is your Ruba states actually? Oh, I can ask for conquer Oyo.
Yeah, that would be the thing that you'd have to do because France is in the play. You can't transfer them.
Yeah, sure. Here.
Okay.
And hopefully that doesn't pull France in.
can't.
It shouldn't. They're not. They can't. France is not in the play.
Okay.
Yeah. The only people who can join is Portugal. And that means you can
Yeah,
puppet
no.
them.
All you need to do is naval invade Oyo.
Yeah. I'm waiting. The war with Austria should be over in a few weeks, I hope, and then I'll naval invade.
Okay. I will restart. There we go.
Question, before the thing goes in the last phase. Okay?
Yes.
I could technically join the Senegal and ask for banned slavery for either Egypt or Messina. And then just don't participate, you know?
I mean, if you want to, you could also just ban slavery in my territory, and I can then ban it for Messina and
That could
Sokoto.
also just happen. Well, so Agona, you could also just do that outside of this play.
Also, like,
Yeah.
didn't you demand? Didn't you get Ruben to ban slavery? So Ruben, could you demand ban slavery from any of us? Because we're
I haven't done that
relations-
yet.
Yeah, I think relations is a thing.
Oh, I could try ban slavery on.
Yeah, because our relationship is bad somehow.
Yeah, I can do it with Felina. So do you want me to do that?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Are we set to go?
Felina
Are we
just
set to
decides to
continue?
invade.
Well,
Are we
thank
set to continue, or are we
I'm
good?
good. I'm good.
you.
Okay.
We're good. Yeah, I'm just asking for Messina because I have good relations with Messina, so I can do it outside of the play.
I'm fine. I'll either figure something out, or it.
your
Or
choice.
the opportunity will come up somewhere else.
Yeah, it's your choice. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I can't demand ban slavery in Yaki because I'm allied.
Yep.
But yeah.
I think Ruben could demand it.
I should have.
Yeah.
I just requested
Yeah.
it.
I don't see it coming through. So it
No,
may-
for
it may-
Felina. Not
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
It worked. It worked. Thank you. Like I have banned slavery now, so that worked.
Nice.
Can I do something?
Okay, white peace with Austria.
I mean, I wish someone would open my markets. That would also be great.
I can't make any demand off you.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Yes, you should have a bad slavery thing.
yep. I got it. So thank you.
Oh my god, I need so much more sulfur.
I can build a bit sulfur, but not much.
I generally also need sulfur, but I don't know where to get that from. Well,
Well, you go to the sulfur thingy as the good and on potentials, and then you know, Ruben's Niger has it. Yeah.
Does the US have much of a navy?
22.
Sometimes.
22.
22. Yeah.
Oh,
that's not
okay,
much.
yeah, they're dealing with succession. So, US Civil War. They might not actually have time to defend Ashanti. If I go for Togo, because Togo, Togo has sulfur.
So if I were to go after Ashanti, I would want Ghana.
Oh yeah, you can take Ghana. I don't care about Ghana. I just need Togo.
I'm naval invading Oyo now, and once that's over, my troops should come and
But Ruben, you know that your Niger has 24 sulfur, right?
My
The northern part.
Yeah, that's what they got from France.
There are 24 sulfur mines.
is it? Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just telling. I mean, expand all you can. We can share territory later. How
I
people
can't
need it.
expand, well, because I don't have colonialism.
Well,
Grr, I can't colonize people.
yeah, but you can conquer them.
I can conquer it, but not colonize.
Yeah.
No, that's a step too far.
Yes,
Evil.
if you no, that's too technologically advanced for you. That's what the game
You're
is telling.
uplifting them.
I mean, game mechanic wise, it's literally saying you're too stupid to colonize.
Yeah, or have...
That's kind of what the game is saying.
This game's weird.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
I am beating the Nejdi nihilist revolt.
Like, we can have trains, but not colonialism. It's so weird.
I mean, like nations that start low in the tech tree are also not advanced enough to think of nationalism. Where I'm like, okay, that's not really advanced. It's a tool.
You could just say that there wasn't the cultural prevalence
Yeah,
for nationalism.
that's like a thing. Like I would probably remove lots of things from the tech tree and make it more like things you influence with interest groups and stuff. Maybe we need to add a new mechanic for that, but lots of like policies that are technically that not require any kind of technology should probably not be in a tech tree. Like nationalism and egalitarianism and stuff like that. That's doesn't make much sense. You can technically lock them behind a time gate if you want, but that's also not really accurate. Especially since we're not like direct historical simulation and more like things that could have been technically. And even then it goes like pretty far.
So, by the way, who's now going to ban slavery on my part, or open my markets?
So Koto could at least ban your slavery.
Am I do?
Yeah, you have bad relations. So and that's
I don't have an interest in Ethiopia, and I don't think I can have an interest there. No, I don't have enough interests. So once I do, I can and will, but right now I can't.
oh, looks like Prussia is winning slowly.
Against France.
Oh.
No.
Well, I mean, for France, this is a very important war for them because they would lose Alsace-Lorraine and Luxembourg, I think.
Balloon.
Luxembourg, surprisingly.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, they did lose Alsace-Lorraine
Not
and some other
Luxembourg.
stuff.
Well, Luxembourg.
They liberate Luxembourg in the war. So they would lose them.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, so they would. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just at the bottom you need to scroll to actually see all the war
Yeah,
goals.
yeah. Like when I saw the war appear, the goal wasn't in there, and they added it later.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they. Well, if we're lucky, France will have a revolution, and if they have a revolution, we can get some stuff from them.
Commune. Colonize France. Colonize France. Colonize France.
If I get the parts in Algiers and Oran, I can actually form a new nation.
For me, it's literally just I need to finish colonizing Volta or Timbuktu.
26 months, I have pan-nationalism, I can form Arabia.
Or if I take
Nice.
all of Gambia or Guinea, I could do it. But it's literally one. I'm literally one full state away from it.
Interesting. In the Senegal, there's still this really small part of British Senegalese Mauritania.
By the way, Ruben, why can't you
Yeah.
put another interest?
I think he has set one. It just takes a while to.
No, he
It's-
said he can't put one in Ethiopia.
Oh, then he doesn't.
I
have...
can't put one in Ethiopia. I've got 2 out of 2 used.
Do you need those two?
I get a third one?
Do you need those two?
Yes, I've got one for the Nile and one for Senegal.
Well, you could.
I trade with both.
Yeah.
Well, if
Ethiopia could. So it's like, Lena could in Egypt.
No.
Ban slavery.
couldn't, they have too good relations.
No.
Could you not?
Yeah, we're
Oh, okay.
allied. We're allied. Yeah, that should be the war. We have like I have
Yes,
oil,
it
oil already
should.
surrendered. Yeah.
In fact, I'm actually, because of my money situation, I actually need to demobilize my troops.
Yeah. Ruben, Oyo has 4 construction sectors. So once I sell that to you, do you want me to downsize that in advance, or can your economy handle
Yeah,
that?
preferably.
Okay.
Sell it to me for what? What do you want?
I'll just transfer it to you. Like I can't do it right now because I'm in a diplomatic play. But once the war is over, I should be able to just transfer it to you. It's the same as I did with Isaac in Ethiopia. Like I'm forming Arabia, like that like Yoruba states. That's your.
God, I can't build anything in Niger. There's literally like the Sahel, which actually no, that's
Yeah, the main,
malaria. That's it.
no, it's 56% devastation in Tomra.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes. You hold that
Oh,
thing.
and turmoil. Yeah.
Yes. That's kind of the problem.
Thank you.
Weird that we have an alliance but we can't trade. That's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can't declare war on your neighbour. Boo. Boo. Ban slavery. An actual good. Oh, sorry.
I mean, someone should ban
Good
slavery,
reason.
but you know. Huh?
No, it crashed.
Once my debuff for
Oh, fuck it. I'm gonna put the interest in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Luckily.
And open my markets while you're at it.
I don't think he can.
I can only do one, I think. How do you know?
Yeah, you can do two.
Oh, yeah, you can.
you can only do one because you get the. If you put them in the
You
right
get a truce
order.
for 5 years.
Okay, what's the
So
order
if
I
you do-
need?
You need to do investment rights and then add the slavery ban into play.
Yeah, that's primary.
So now you have to refuse to accept the demand.
Yeah.
And then you just like surrender in the.
I know, I
concede
know.
in the diplomatic.
I know
war.
how that works. This is more like, you know. Because if when my slavery is gone, I actually get more taxes, and I'm very happy about more taxes.
The U.S. is guaranteeing Japan's independence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. It's not often that happens.
Yeah. They're already on free trade.
I mean,
Yeah, I've been seeing that happen more often lately. Is either the U.S., France, or the U.K. goes in after Japan for free trade early on.
Yeah.
It's like in the first 20 years or so.
Very good.
Let's see, so what was it? It was investment rights.
Wait,
Yes.
investment rights? I don't want
So-
investment.
that's correct. Shut up.
No, that opens up your markets.
Okay, so that's
Demanding,
Koto must.
Yeah.
So Koto must have an equal or higher rank to Ethiopia. Basically, I'm too small. But what I can do is ban slavery.
okay. That would still be nice. Thank you.
And I can ban the bot.
Yeah.
I'll be
Prevent
back.
ban
Check
slavery.
on something. I'm good for now.
Oh no, slavery is banned now.
Oh no, so terrible. Won't somebody think of the slave owners?
In 11 weeks, I have the Suez Canal.
Nice. And now I only need to get my money up and somehow off isolationism.
Ooh, 16th biggest economy in the world. Not bad.
So 22. Why is
Just
my
more than
prestige?
you.
Yeah, I probably lost the war. That's why my prestige went down.
No.
It just went down.
Losing a war doesn't reduce your prestige. Unless
Okay,
it's
now-
humiliation.
I need to get prestige up again.
Oh, it's a forced slavery ban, a minus 20% prestige. Like, I have that too.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
That does
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Oh yeah, the North.
That's part of what I was saying
Yeah.
Now the North.
earlier. Is that you can't.
Yeah, now the North German Federation is there, and they have more troops now because of that. So, the French will
I
lose.
will say, of all the diplomatic plays in this game, forming the North German Federation is probably the only somewhat realistic, way that war goals work.
Fair. But they're basically automatic, because, you know.
Yeah, it's scripted, so.
Yeah, it's an event war goal thingy.
If I disestablish a company, it's like 5 years before I can re-establish it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And also, if you establish a company, you can't get rid of it until 5. I think
Yeah,
it's active for like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, because I've got the furniture and textile companies, but the textile one is stuck at 20 prosperity, and I might want to get rid of it to get the Suez Canal company.
That's questionable because that company is a little. I think the canal if I recall correctly, the canal companies are a little broken right now. Like they don't get their prosperity. Because of.
I have after pan nationalism, I've got investment banks. In 5 years, I will be able to find a third company. I'll keep it around for now, and then when I get investment banks, I'll be able to get the canal company and see if it'll work or not.
Yeah, companies in general are a lot weaker.
Yeah.
Especially since they're so tempo dependent.
Yeah.
I just need to get out of my fucking. I just need to build more paper right now, and it's annoying. At least I don't have slaves anymore, so.
Yes. And you
Good
didn't.
thing.
You didn't need to do it the long way. You only have wage slaves.
I mean, don't we still have wage slaves?
Yes, it's called a job basically. Because you're not getting the product of your labor in full. German Empire.
Yeah,
Another on that topic is like, okay, so technically, I work at least like most days, at least like half an hour or an hour more than like my contracted hours.
Yeah.
On averaged out. But I don't actually book that because the whole time booking system, because it's a big company and trying to get stuff done properly and have like decent software is basically impossible. It's just not worth it for me personally. Other people are fine. Like it's because our time booking system, there's two separate pieces of software for time booking, and they act very differently. You need to input different data into each one. So for me, it's just like it's not worth it to book overtime and all that. Even though actually, my group lead's like, yeah, you can book overtime and stuff like that, and flexi time and all that. But for me, it's just like I don't want to do it. I mean, also because the pay is pretty good, and I'm fine without it. But it's just like I cannot be arsed. It's too much. Like at the end of the day,
I mean, that's...
And you don't want to go and have to go and put all the system and...
It's very
decimal time. Yeah. It's not minutes and hours.
It's very incentivized for the company to have such a system in that sense, because...
No. It's incentivized because moving the system would create a lot of disruption for everybody.
First of all that, but more importantly, the harder it is to use, the more user-unfriendly it is, the less people will use it.
Yeah, that's the point. That's why I won't change it also.
They are looking into...
I'm saying they're incentivized.
They are looking at moving to one system.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure when. They're meant to be pushing out a questionnaire about it, but you'd think... Do you really need to put a questionnaire out about, we've got two different pieces of software that do the exact same thing? And also, I would also put the whole spin of, is this conspiracy like to keep wages down, or is this incompetence? I'm gonna put her at incompetence.
It's to a degree.
Things go wrong.
It's probably it can be both. That's not like
maybe a little bit of both. I'm. This is more just a me problem, but. I'm going to put it down to more in, like, incompetence, because if you know anything about our IT systems / software, like, oh my god, I'm trying to get on the cluster OpenPhone, and it's going to be a long battle. Like, I've got a meeting in another 2 months' time to just talk about having this software, which is completely free. Like, the company wouldn't have to spend money on it. It's just... because software and security and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Big company sort of stuff.
They move slowly.
Things move slowly. Yeah.
Yeah, that comes with the territory.
Especially the larger that a corporation is, the slower that they end up moving, because... well, there's a lot of bureaucratic red tape that they got to do, even within the company, not to mention any like legal stuff that they have to take care of.
Oh, completely. And we have to work alongside the government as well, because of what we do. So it's like, that's even worse. So it's just like a combination of government and a big company. Oh, everything's... It's like the... It's like, do you remember in Zootopia, the DMV? It's like that.
It's interesting. You know what the funniest part about that scene was? I was like, I had that. I've seen that thing so many times in especially Anglo media, like American media, like, oh, the DMV is like slow and bad, and you have to wait a lot, and like. I never had problems with them here, like with the authorities.
Yeah, we have problems with them here.
Yeah. For me, it was
honestly the DMV in the U.S. is not that slow. I mean, and I guess like some of this is like a perceptive, a perception thing. But like for example, when I bought my car, it took the DMV about 2 months to make and issue out my license plate for my car, which I think is not a big deal. I'm sure there are people who will complain and stuff, who will complain about all that, and it should be faster. But they do a lot of other services that are more important faster, like getting out driver's licenses and IDs and stuff.
Our driving licenses have been super slow. I think it's taken like 3 or 4 months to get licenses after you've passed your test.
You know what?
So.
You know how fast you can get them here in Germany? You pass your test, you get a note. You get a note from your from the tester, and you can technically directly go to the office, hand it in, and get your license the same day. Well, it still needs to be manufactured, but yes.
I'm pretty sure I had that.
I got my license from the. So, when I got my driver's license, it was literally the day that I took my test.
Yeah.
Like the same place and location and everything like that.
I almost had it, but they were closing that day, and I was like, can't you just It's like, just 5 more minutes. I sprinted through the whole fucking town to get there. I was really fit one this. Holy shit. But in general, otherwise, renewing my driver's license, also not a problem. Just, I need to do that. And they were like, this is your, you have a ticket, literally you do it online here, and you got, I got a ticket, and I got I got a date, and I just went there, it just chill, no problem, everything fine. Okay, generally I would say we have, Hamburg really has done a lot to make bureaucracy really nice, because if you do one, you actually do it digitally now, you go online, I need to do this, and they're like, we have, dates open at basically any location in the city, and you can choose where you want to go and when, and it's so nice. Generally, really well done. Just chilling my city a little bit, because I generally think it's the best city in Germany, and that needs to be said more. That's also why I think Hamburg and Amsterdam needs to be connected, because we're the best cities on the North Sea, and we deserve a direct connection.
I think that's meant to be new Eurostar trains directly to Berlin, I think, from the UK.
Begonia, quick question. Are you able to use machine tools?
Machine
Those
tools?
are the rubber costing?
No.
Okay.
You mean
when you're able to use rubber, let me know, because I do have some rubber plantations that I could export to you.
Ruben, the problem here is more. The problem with that is less. From the UK to Germany, yes. But the thing is that railway line usually still goes over Belgium and into Cologne and then up to Berlin. So basically you need to think of it like that. Amsterdam, there's a north route, and that technically exists, but it's more regional rail.
It's a good thing or a bad thing. I was just saying it's a thing now.
Yeah, it's coming probably. We're currently updates. That's probably the most interesting part. Of all European countries, Germany probably has the most advanced railway fleet. Period. Hands down.
No doubt.
That's I know people are oh no, the German rail network. The problem of the German rail network is just it couldn't, the investment wasn't there, and it couldn't keep up with capacity, because on all other points, our rail network is for example, if you look at French TGVs, okay? I don't shit on TGVs. I like TGVs, especially the old ones. They have some really good designs.
Really cool.
Until you realize they still...
Let's put new TGVs, sorry.
I think just the biggest difference you can really see is France has a great network, especially high-speed rail, that was basically designed to be to have high speeds between the major cities, from Paris to Strasbourg to down to Marseille, things like that. And it's a good network, but then you drive the TGVs on them, and aside from the TGVs that go across the border, you still ride a lot of the old TGVs with the interior still being from the 80s/70s. And then you're oh. And then you look outside of the window and you're like, oh, that window yellowed. Oh. This is an old train. Like, here's the thing. They run fine, no, but, like, they're old and not that clean. And compare that to an ICE-1 still running. They have been refurbished, like, 2 times already. You go in there, you're riding 80s technology, but inside it looks like 2020. They still are top-notch. And they keep overhauling them.
Do you want the TGVs to be refurbished then, sort of?
You know what? The TGVs need a refurbishment, no question.
Okay.
Like,
Russia is attacking the Qing, and Spain is helping the Qing, and so they get naval invaded by Russia.
Yes.
Ace.
And Russia wants to put a treaty port in Korea. Yeah.
Yeah.
At first I thought that was a Spanish flag, but then I looked closer.
Yes. It's similar, just so small.
But yeah, generally I would say the general fleet is like the ICE fleet really got upgraded a lot, but also a lot of them are getting replaced with the ICE-4s, which are, really well trained. I mean, Ruben, you've been on one.
Very nice.
Yeah, basically that level is also in the ICE-1s. Like, they refurbished that to the same levels. They're still top notch in that regard, and also the ICE-1 is just a good train. Like, and on the other hand, we still have the ICE-3s and now ICE-3 Neos, which are the really fast ones. Guess what? Still really good, and they're also just top of the line still. And that fleet is getting replaced even more rapidly. Like they even announced now that they are replacing some ICE-3Ms, which were they were the models of the ICE-3 that were supposed to run on railway lines outside of the country as well, and they have just some technical problems. And, they were like, should we, update them, refurbish them? And then they were like, we're just buying so many ICE-3 Neos. Who cares? We're just replacing them. Yeah. Sadly, soon we won't see any ICE-2s anymore. But, like, as much as I have a soft spot for them, because they're a bit unique, yeah, it's kind of like... Let's just put it like this. The ICE-L is basically the better ICE-2 and replaces the ICE-3 fleet in a way better way. Yeah, that's also... the ICE-L is one thing, like, I kind of want to ride that, and I could visit Amsterdam with that, because the main line it's running on is going to Amsterdam. Which is like, that would also be the train that would go on, a northern route, which, what the best part about that is, if we actually get a lot of them? You could build the northern line and expand it to 2 tracks, and you can still run it before the electrification is done, because the ICE-L is actually a push-pull train. Basically, it takes the city jet concept of Austria and just makes it better. Like, quite literally, because it's able to run on, it's easier to run on non-German electric rail networks, just based on what locomotive you put in front. So, like, while the current ones are built to be, on the Dutch network and the German network, and right now they're actually running with Dutch locomotives, by the way, so... Fun thing about that.
Do they have like a diesel and an electric? So like for one diesel, one
electric,
you could push pull.
You could actually put a diesel in front of the push pull and it would work.
Okay.
So the more you know. But yeah, right now they're electric. They're designed mainly for the electric ones, and you can put Dutch. If you have a lot and they're like, oh hey, we want to put a railway line, like for example to Czechia or Poland, we can you can just put that thing with a Polish lock and it would work. Hooray! And until you make a specialized locomotive for that, which they still plan. So good design.
I'm also wondering, how many times does France need to get beaten up for them to actually have a revolt right now?
I don't know. They seem to be very stable, actually.
This game, yes.
Yeah, and
I feel like they're probably managing their internal stuff fairly well. Oh my god. Have you seen the little bit of Wallonia that still belongs to France?
that's what the fuck is that?
The Luxembourg release didn't.
Yeah,
The Luxembourg release didn't get the whole thing. I think that when they added the changes to Luxembourg, they forgot to. I think they forgot to like put the releasable as that like a little original piece of territory.
Yeah, that's slightly cursed, even though you can barely see it. That's
Border gore. A little bit like Sep's.
He will connect.
What happened? Because you took French Senegal, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, free
Yes.
Senegal.
nice.
Yeah, I took Senegal's territory.
But yeah,
It means you're technically. Oh yeah, we are bordering now. Yay!
nice. You touch at the tips.
I'm gonna import your steel. Yes, we're finally
am I
touching
ma-
tips.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I was about to
The
say the
test.
exact same thing. We have one brain
And
cell.
it happened in the spot that I was hoping it would happen in.
Yay!
Also, did you know like France still has one tiny little spot of Chad over there?
Also, Zep, don't
Yeah.
you want Mauritania from me?
Yes, I've been working to solve some of the internal stuff first, is all. So it was just taking some time to do
Yeah,
stuff.
if you want to just send me that you want it, and I accept that, and then...
Yeah. Also,
Yeah, it's fine as is for now. At the very least, it's keeping you like that territory specifically is not super important to me, especially because it's such a split state. And it gives you an intrinsic interest in my region.
That's true.
France.
So there's not too much reason to kick you off of this section. What's going on with France?
So France stopped colonizing the Niger Delta, and like Britain didn't quite cut it off because Denmark popped
cut
in
them
and
off.
just.
That's funny. Denmark got the cutoff there.
Yeah,
That is really
very
funny.
narrow bit there, just going up and now bordering Sokoto. So yeah, you, Ruben, I have some bad news for you. You are now neighbors with Denmark.
Our is as well. They get on well. I mean, except from.
Oh, actually, you already were neighbors because on the other side, Danish Togo.
I know.
Yeah. Interesting.
They could sell me Lego. Woohoo! Well, overpriced Lego. Boo. Skip one.
but yeah, we're current like it's just there's a lot of stuff. I mean, if you want, I could also open the browser and show a little bit of because what's currently happening in German. Yeah, okay. I mean, basically, Germany is German, especially Siemens, is just dominating the railway market again because, like, yeah, you know, some specialized stuff like the ICL is a Talgo train. I get it. They are very much specialized in making low floor trains, so this was sensible. But like for when it comes to stuff like how's it called? Multiple unit trains. There's a reason why Siemens is so popular because, like, one of the key things they're currently doing. And let me just open it up and let's.
Oh, Ruben, by the way, don't forget to get off of traditionalism so that you can get into better tax law.
There
I'm
we go.
able to, sure, but right now I can't.
Yeah. Just keeping it in mind, because I forgot about doing that for a little while. Not that I had much chance earlier.
Damn, I need to make more steel now. How? Anyway, Yeah, that's all. That's basically the newest one they are ordering for the Dizzy Rogue high capacity one. It's actually a really cool thing because as you can see, those are sleek,
Set,
right?
Sorry, now to interrupt. Set, do you want my Timbuktu? I don't want it. It's just like famine then. Okay, thank you. I'll transfer it out. Sorry, go on.
Okay,
Now
basically those are useless. Oh, by the way, if you remember them, those were basically the original ones they were based on. Those like this line started as a diesel engine variant. Even the USA bought some of them. I think in California that they're driving. So
Which one?
the Dizzy Rolls. I have them open on stream. Wait a second.
Oh, yeah. We have a couple of them in
here.
California.
You see them even here. That's the Californian one. So yay. Okay.
I think
Siemens.
I rode in one. I think they're in Southern California, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, where was it again? Let's with Oceanside to Escondido in California. But yeah, they were like used everywhere. Like those are just they are very very popular. They were like the backbone of everything. Hey, Godstuff Girl, how are you doing? And then they updated that. Basically, they made a double decker version, but yeah, basically that one is the main one they did later. Those are now used nearly everywhere. That's nice. As you can see, they're good capacity and such. But then then people realized, hey, this is good. This is like really good for regional rail. And then they decided,
transfer states.
what if we took
We're
that?
not friendly enough to do it yet, Ruben.
Oh wait. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to improve like.
If you took that and slapped two double-decker ones in between, and yeah, those are really popular right now. Also, hi Agonia to you.
Hey.
So yeah, and you know what the best part about those are? That's regional rail, but also it's they can go up to 200 kilometers per hour. And on some lines, they actually drive with 190 kilometers per hour. So that's really fast regional rail, actually. And interesting enough, you know what? You will see them in Egypt soonish.
Speaking of Egypt, I just unlocked my nationalism.
Nice. So you're Arabia soon.
Nice.
Yeah, wait, we need to go back.
Ta-da!
Arabia.
More green.
More green. That's a lot of kilos.
Ooh, cool.
We're out green the Russians soon.
Yes.
Oh, Oran is now claimed by Arabia. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I pressed the button that gave me claims on like everything.
Yeah, everything from me.
California isn't annexed. Yeah, I'm not.
I don't think we can accept that right now, Ruben, because I need to keep from my. Yeah, because my industries need to. They're still privatizing because of the bankruptcy.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to speed up the improved relations.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we could do a trade agreement.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna annex I'm gonna annex Tripolitania, and then like everything else, everything further west, like Tunisia and Algeria, everything that is yours.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I think that this also gives me some claim to like the Trucial Coast, and I think some more Ottoman stuff as well. So.
Yeah. I mean, to form Maghreb, I need a lot more shit anyway.
We can get you that with some beefing with the Brits.
There we go.
Brits, French, like Maghreb needs
Spain.
like a lot of stuff. I need 9 out of those regions, and 5 of them are in British and French hands. 5 more, it's 6, 7. I would probably trade some states with Arabia and then trade them back or something later.
Yeah, it's a lot of kilos. Yeah, generally, if you're interested in what is going to happen in North Africa, Siemens basically got a contract to completely modernize the Egyptian railway system. So you will see Siemens regional rails and Velaro trains running on Egyptian railway lines soonish. So they're actually building high-speed rail in Egypt. They're already there. And, interestingly, this is what you might also see with that. And there might be some adjustments, but they actually, because that's always why I say the Velaro sells, because it is a relatively cost-effective, mass-produced high-speed rail train that is really good, like basically the best in the game, and you can adapt it. And they made special adaptations because it's high-speed rail in the fucking desert. So that's gonna be heat-resistant trains there. So very interesting.
Finally, I have everything incorporated down here. Like everything that needs to be incorporated.
Oh well. Oh yeah. But I hope you can enjoy your day off, Gods of Girl. That's always important. Oh yeah, if people are interested, can I say that?
What?
That we might play Monster Hunter Wilds tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. We might finish up Monster Hunter Wilds tomorrow, so if people need some help, do some high rank.
Already?
And
Is it a short game? Or? Oh, yeah,
it's relatively short in comparison. I would say it's just also like, let me put it like this. It's more like the story of high rank is then done, and then I can actually sit down and make my
Good armor sets.
make good armor sets and wait for the updates. But yeah,
And then the skills get fixed, and then,
the skills get fixed.
and then you don't need Flare 2 anymore.
It's a dreary. Oh no, that's not good. If you want to talk about it, just open here. You can say.
Yeah.
But yeah, the skills in Monster Hunter Wilds are currently just broken. Some of them, like the essential ones, are like broken. Like for example, Flare is technically designed to cause extra wounds at level 5.
But it generally does that, and per level it's higher and higher.
But 2 is just the best.
Yeah, right now 2 is better. 2 is better than 3.
You probably won't bring down the vibe. We're very resilient here.
Yeah.
But
what
that's
weapon do you
up to
guys
you.
use, mostly?
Right now I'm using the gun lance because I never used it much.
I mean, you played through it on World, and that was
Yeah,
fun.
but how many playthroughs did I have with Greatsword? I don't know, 20?
I mean, you played Greatsword after that anyway.
Yes.
I'm doing a Switch Axe right now because basically I always wanted to try Switch Axe, and I kind of wanted to play Switch Axe when getting to, if we get to like a 3rd generation / portable 3rd playthrough, and I might still do that, but I was just like, I never got to it, and then I, played it a bit in GU and was like, okay, you know what, I get Switch Axe now, but let's do it. I will just brute force Switch Axe, and that's fun right now. It's you run up to a monster and go, ah!
Yeah. And since the skills are a bit borked, we can't really say much what is good, because, for example, Critical Element, which is something Capcom tried to force onto us, that pretty much every weapon needs elemental, is a bit bugged for most weapons. A bit. So it's hard to tell, like, how good some weapons actually are. In general, ranged weapons are the best.
Yeah.
In the last entries.
They generally are. Like in the previous ones, it was heavy. Okay, heavy bowgun was kind of the best in general. And also if anyone was like, why? Just unique reasons. Like for example, there was just a heavy bowgun in 4 that because how you build it was just stupidly strong. Similarly, oh nice, I have protectionism now. I did it all on my own. Finally trading. Finally. Holy shit. Or have ever been given advice that made you feel stupid? Someone said something to me in their bow. They're both a man and I've had mansplaining. I mean, I think that depends. I can't definitely say anything on the on how you actually perceive it, or how it actually was. It's just, the thing is, let me put it like this: sometimes someone can give bad advice in a very nice manner, and sometimes someone can give good advice in a very shitty manner.
Yes.
That's just what I can say. Like, I had both. Like, sometimes someone told me shit like in a way where like, holy shit, you're arrogant, and they were still right. I can't say much more about that. It's just, yeah, it really depends. Like, I think it's like I do not know of the nature. Is what I would say.
Wait. If I get a trade agreement with Ethiopia, would that force you out of isolationism?
I have protectionism right now.
Oh, protectionism. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't get a trade agreement with someone that is isolationist.
Yeah, because I just saw the option. I was like, hang on.
I'm not out of. Sorry, I forgot. Bleh. I mean, it's that is just a thing. Like, yeah, that just happens a lot of times. Sadly, that's not like.
That's also a feeling you can get even if they don't do it.
I can. You know what?
It's a very easy feeling to get even.
Yeah, I think the hardest part about that is to like. Here's the thing: no one should look down on someone, but I think there are also gradients of that. And again, I can't say which man it is because like some people look down in the meaning ways, and some people.
It's yours.
Okay.
Timbuktu.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, yeah, go on. Interrupted again.
And some look down. Some look down as in like they don't mean it. There's a difference between doing something that's shitty in a well-meaning way and doing something shitty in a shitty way.
Yeah, I mean, there's also generally the difference between like what the person means and what the other person perceives.
Yeah, again, I can't really say a lot about that. It's just that's to a degree.
Depending on a relationship between the two parties, you can just ask. Like, hey,
yeah.
it came across like that. I probably didn't mean it. I'm just wanting to ask. But if you're not that familiar with the person, then that's harder to do.
Being in the position of media either. Yeah. That's just like, I don't know. That's the problem with people, If you meet someone, you can sometimes just sniff out the vibe, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's also just like on the topic of media interpretation. Like people are like, no, I interpret it that way, but sometimes they mean it like it can only be interpreted that way, which is obviously wrong.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. Like I don't even know how to tackle that. It's just like sometimes people just have also just ideas of what media where like where did that come from? It's just generally because they really think like that, and you're like, damn. How the fuck does that happen? In the sense of
that you mean okay. How is the revolt in Portugal not yet crushed from Spain? They take their sweet time.
They are pushing it. Please.
Yes, they're just like it's been there a while.
Yeah.
I can see how that takes down the mood a bit.
Yes. Can be very annoying, to say the least.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Like, it's... I just also know these kinds of people. Like, you know, when I worked sometimes... What is it with more to add for a certain... I mean, sometimes you never know. It's... I feel like also really, you know, understanding people, that's just a thing. It's just hard. Like, for example... There's a lot going on. You can sometimes grasp some general things, like, for example, I've worked with
one thing I will say is that the question that you kind of need to ask yourself before you start thinking of things like cutting bridges and burning bridges and stuff like that is like, are these problems that you can just ignore during your daily life? Like, are these things, or are you going to constantly be thinking about it whenever you meet up with that person? Like, because the thing is that it's entirely possible to have friendships with people that you politically or that you disagree with in many ways, especially if both sides understand that unspoken rule of, hey, let's just not talk about this thing that is different about us.
Depends on the politics.
Okay,
like,
I think there's a big asterisk of like what topics that are, because like I think you can definitely be like, you like, so someone like, I think we should build more roads, and you'd be like, you know, that's stupid, but you know, I'm like, if you're not like, no, cars should dominate everything, I would not be like, okay, wait, that's one thing, and like, and even then I think you can definitely.
So it could be like, I like cars because, you know, vroom vroom and like driving and it's fun. And
but
cool.
also if someone says I like cars, I know how I put them, like, hey, don't you want other cars off the road then, because the other drivers suck, and they're usually like, oh yeah, and like, hey, can I get you interested in trains, TM? It works really well, let me tell you that. But yeah, it's just more like, it really depends. Like,
there are ways to approach. Yeah, it depends on it depends entirely on like what you think is acceptable or not acceptable, but what you think is
tolerable,
something that you're willing to overlook. Yeah, what is tolerable?
Yeah, I think
is something that you don't get bothered by. Like, even if it's something that bothers you mildly, is that relationship something that you're like, I enjoy hanging out with this person, so I can ignore this weird or aspect that I don't like about them.
Can I say one thing?
Because it's not integral to your life. Yeah.
I think a big thing is probably, especially when you talk about media, I think you can say, if, you know, someone treats media and especially, you know, interpretation of media, you know, I think, again, there's a gradient, and it's like, if someone goes at it and does, you know, the whole Ron Swanson thing and like, I like Moby Dick, it's just a simple story about a guy hating a whale, you can roll your eyes because like, wow, you really didn't understand what this shit was about. But if someone goes on about how wokeness destroyed franchise X, you're like, yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah, to be honest, I would even say that like that attitude towards Moby Dick, like using that example with Moby Dick, I'd say that that's fine. That's a fine attitude to have, because it may not be the intended like idea, but he's getting something out. Like that, he got something out of Moby Dick,
it's not about being a dick, sort of.
It's
his interpretation of the story, which is different from the intended one.
Yes and no.
In this specific example, it's also the claim that that is the only interpretation, and that is a red flag.
Yeah, I would say.
Like,
well, I would say.
But again, we're talking a lot about theoretical stuff.
This is another interpretation.
Well, that's not what she said in the example.
The point was more like, you know, yeah, that's good. There's a lot of things to.
There's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot to unpack there, and like again, there are gradients, and like again, I think we are just talking too much about theoretical stuff. So, you know what? We need different and better topics.
We need to be more people.
You know what? I will say something good about Monster Hunter Wilds. The pellicles are the fluffiest they ever been, and that's great.
They are very fluffy.
Oh yeah, like you know. Here's the thing:
Except from the short-haired ones, they're just ugly.
I mean, oh,
They are.
those are the classic ones.
No, they could be fluffy.
Yeah,
So I don't know why they would want to be fluffy in like the desert.
it just.
At least at the beginning.
I mean, a lot of them are in deserts. Yeah,
Desert at night, cold.
yeah.
Also, if the fur is layered,
Yeah,
it
but
traps
just
air inside, which is actually
bring a coat. They're humanoids, sort of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, why do they do all the work and like the humans
Okay.
don't really do
Okay,
much?
can I say now and no one
That's
interrupts
racism.
me?
Ah,
no
you
one
can
interrupts
finally
me.
explain.
Okay, the thing is, palicos/felines are, they basically have a mutual relationship with humans and vivarians because, let's just put it like this. If you're a small, intelligent cat in a world full of monsters where, 98% of them can just eat you with a bite, a bunch of them, lived in, basically they lived in, how's it called, burrows and, hidden away. But a lot of them just were like, it's a lot safer with the humans. A lot safer. And the thing is, for them, it's like, a lot of them can't fight well, because they're small. Some do, but like they usually, they usually take on jobs in helper roles. Like for example, they help haul stuff, they work in kitchens and such, because for them it's like we do stuff like that, and we can live in the villages because like a lot of for example, palicos can't really smith that well because again, small and
No thumbs.
what?
No thumbs.
Small, no thumbs, fur can get burned easily, but they can help in this with the smithies, and that is like you live in a nice warm house and have food, and it's how they just happened. It's also developed a bit because some at the beginning of the series, a lot of them still lived. Some of them still lived in the areas outside, and well, their thing was usually to just rob people. They literally were robbing you. They ran up to you and stole something and then ran off.
Yeah.
And they just kind of stopped that because,
It's way easier to have like a stable job in a community that appreciates you than being in a small barrow and being hated by everyone.
It's like, oh yeah, they basically say, hey, you run the kitchen in the guild hall? Cool. Have all the food and shit you want, and a warm, and a warm place to live. And the palicos are like, that's a good deal. That's a really good deal.
Yeah, they basically have carved out their own job niches so that some parts of the cities are designed for basically palicos only.
Yeah, like here's
It's more like no people work there, so they don't need big structures.
yeah, it's like.
That's discriminatory.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, that's in cities mostly because, like, in villages they usually
So the cities just Palico slums.
No,
Not
not
really.
slums. No, it's more like that the service areas are smaller because
Hey,
palicos work
stop.
there mostly. But I know how that sounds without context.
remember that one scene in Zootopia with the mice part of the town that was just there for the giantess fetishist people. It's like that.
Oh, yeah.
Half of Zootopia was there for those reasons. Also, I think I'm going to go to war with Denmark and Belgium. There's a like the Danish Ivory Coast is having an uprising, and I think I'm gonna side with them to like kick the Danish out of that part of Africa. And once they're out, then like Ruben can probably just go in there and yoink it.
I'm fine without it. Like I don't mind.
Ruben!
To be honest, it's a
Ruben,
trading partner.
Take opportunities.
Yeah, you're not fine without it.
Take the opportunities. I used to be tiny Sokoto, now I'm big Sokoto.
But
Yes,
what if
but
you
can
are
also
giant
You can
Sokoto?
also dominate your region.
Yeah,
Like, here's the thing: if you don't jump into those areas, some of the European powers might.
Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, generally I would say, honestly, I can just say one thing about Zootopia. It really is that one movie where everyone, where the furries said, fine, we'll make our own movie with all our fetishes, and like, they just did. They really just did. But yeah, no, it's more like that, you know, they just have their own parts, you know, because, yeah. It's less, you know, slum, more like the cats just build cat parts. So it's a mutual...
I want to say something really quick about the game. The Colonial Affairs institution should not only affect colonial growth generation.
Yeah.
What should it affect as well?
I think it should, because right now, because essentially, once you've colonized everything you want to, you might as well just put it down to zero, the institution. But what it should do is it should have the scaling for the modifier for whether it's resettlement for 50% for the migration attraction or exploitation for the throughput.
Yeah, I mean, the only interaction the institution has right now is with colonial officers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with the colonial growth speed. Yeah.
No, colonial officers are mainly used for, like, getting China parts for under 20 infamy. Like, that's what it's there for.
Yes. Yeah. That's the only interaction that the Colonial Affairs Offices has, with the exception of the growth generation, which is just like the minimal thing that it can.
Yeah. Like, not much.
Yeah, but I hope that answers a bit about the Palicos. They were also, you know, the mailings, but yeah, it's more like they work together. That's more that. They're not the Shakalakas who got genocided. So
well, they really just went with.
Capcom was a lot more interested in making a world in the beginning than like making a sanitized product like they're doing now.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest problem with the modern ones. They they are so centered off and like not really that like the old titles were really. They were really dedicated to a certain style and setting. Like, again, you know, a lot of the guild stuff and the big fortresses were like, they had like still a medieval feeling, and you know, you had like older, you know, armor. You had some, you know, older clothing and such, because, you know, it was a low-tech world to a degree. The weapons were just like the leftovers from the ancient civilization. And similarly, it was like, you know, boats were sometimes just fit together with literal bones on the outside, because that was just a good way to protect them if you have big bones. And sand ships were a lot more, you know, a lot less ships and a lot more catamarans and such. It's very interesting.
That's one of the weird things about the ship in the beginning of Wilds. I don't like that it's a ship that has like pontoons on the side. It should be more of a. I think it should be more of a catamaran.
Yeah. Like, let me just put it like this.
As the person who loves boats,
is it the land ship or is it the airship?
The sand ship.
The sand ship.
Sand ship. Oh, okay.
Let me
opening sequence.
No, let me just pull it up, because everyone, we're going back to the goddamn browser. Yes, and make sure.
I do not like the ship in the beginning, in the opening sequence of Wild.
I think that's probably the biggest problem I have with Wilds as well. They just are very weird with the technology level. Here we go. This was the ship in Tri, and the ships how they looked in Tri. They're like very flat, because, you know, they're running on sand. They're very small and running on sand. If you're wondering why they had these ships anyway, Jan Moran.
Well, that and lots of trade through the desert.
Yeah, because there was... Can I say one thing? Mm-hmm. I've seen a bunch of people on YouTube now saying, oh, you know what, I've been there, you know, I really loved the Monster Hunter series for so long. I did, you know, it's great and all. But I really just got into it with Worlds, and then I just talk about World. I'm like, you know that scene from Inglourious Bastards when they hold up like the three fingers? It's like that. Because here's the thing: if someone tells me like, "Oh, I really like I've been there since the old games," I'm like, then why don't you fucking shell Poker Village? If you started with Tri, where's your appreciation for Loklak? everyone who started with try is A, trans, B, loves Locklack. Where's that? But you're only talking about World, so like, are you maybe a person that only played with World, but wants the the authority of being like, oh look, I've been there from the beginning. But no one else will notice that except the weird people. So bad, I'm weird. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Just looking at it. Locklack. Oh wait.
Beef Locklack.
Yeah, that's Locklack City. That was the online hub for Try. And look at some of how it look.
They're all very small.
Yeah, this is good. Like, look at this thing. It's in the desert. You have the sand ships. It's very simplistic. The technology level of old titles was just very low tech, and that was by design. Actually, like, it was a bustling market, but this is I think the best example I can say of the what Monster Hunter was, and even this is Port Tanzia. This was the online hub for 3 Ultimate. I think the best comparison is that Monster Hunter was Neolithic inspired fantasy, as in you had some big buildings, you had some fortresses as they also built back then, China built
the whole
some
megafauna sort of thing, was it? Or?
No, Neolithic in the sense of, Stone Age, late Stone Age.
Oh, that's what I mean. So the megafauna that were part of the Stone Age.
Kinda, but she's
You
not
know
talking
that,
about
that there wasn't really a megafauna left during the Neolithic era, right?
Was it not? Okay, but that was earlier.
No,
then.
it was earlier. Yeah.
She's
Paleolithic.
Like,
Technically, the woolly mammoth counts as megafauna, but that is also not so much. They were, I think, they were dying out during the Olympics.
yeah, to a degree. I mean, let me just put it like this: they survived a long time in on an island in Russia because they were isolated.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, they were dying out. That's just
Like the last woolly mammoths died after the pyramids were built in Egypt.
yeah.
But like the point was more of the technology level.
And by the way, this was in Dose. This is Jumbo Village. Like, look at how simplistic they were. This is, by the way, this is the first town in Monster Hunter 1. This was the first town.
Also, the people weren't as white as today.
Oh yeah, it's they were a bit ambiguous, but the general skin tone was darker.
And
There was a lot more
that one is
brownish.
more like Asian inspired people there mostly.
I would say Southeast Asian.
Yeah.
Like Jumbo Village feels very Southeast Asian inspired. But that's like also this was the fortress town Dundorma. They brought this back actually. As you can see, this really feels more like an early, ancient, like Babylonian to a big degree, very Babylonian. That this was the tech level they had. As you can see, they still had the more big lances and a bit of European inspired stuff for the guild, as in they had the fancier stuff, some full plates and stuff. But this was the general idea of the game. This is Moga, by the way, from Try. So look at that. Moga is not a village, that's kind of the technology level the villages of the natives in
In the world.
in Wilds is, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they have some unintentionally colonialist undertones.
Yeah,
in
that's-
Wilds.
They have. This is like, I'm not saying they did this with intent and they wanted it to be like. It's
That's
more like
why I said unintentional.
they very have it unintentional. They just, I really think they just fucked up. Like, yeah. Just looking at it, we had the villagers. I think one of the few that stood out maybe a little bit is, that's Yukumo from Portable Thirds, which, a lot of is based on, but like, even if you look at Yukumo Village, this is still more, ancient Japan, very, very old Japan, and not, what people usually like. There are aesthetic parts of it which is like, okay, yeah, I can see, for example, the bathhouse and such, and this clearly wants to be, very Japanese inspired, but it's also a lot, in the style. It tries to be very early Japan, like really early, first, civilization levels of Japan, and that's cool. Like, we don't have that a lot of times. Like, look at some of those concept arts. It's like, yeah, you see that, but that's still older clothing they had, and it's great design. And when I look at that, and like, it's really good, and I think they captured that a lot of times. Like, even in 4, they had stuff like, you basically travel through the world, and you had like multiple villages, and they still had this feeling of being very, low tech. And I mean, one of the best examples, in GU, there was Berna, and Berna is basically, what if Switzerland and Peru, or Chile was just mashed, like they bases on, like, a lot of inspiration was from Chile visits they had. Like, what if they were mashed together? And it's great, because it just has, it's a great vibe, It's like, oh yeah, you're like in the, but it's also just, it's hewn into the mountainside and, made from the rocks. It's very rustic. As you can see, there are influences from, Switzerland and Peru. It's like, it's great. It really just has something. They really went all in on that low-tech aesthetic of, the formal dresses. They're still formal, but you can see how they're, they're not streetwear. And meanwhile, I look, I look at Alma and, like, first of all, she just has modern glasses, and a thing on her head. Like, I don't know how that's called. It's just, like, she's wearing modern streetwear. This isn't like, oh hey, she looks like, no, she looks great. Like, I'm a lesbian, I'm attracted to her, but also I play Monster Hunter for a long ass time, and I look at this and I'm like, no, this is off. This is just so fucking off in terms of how this should, like, she shouldn't wear, like.
Yeah, that's a modern hoodie jacket.
It's a modern hoodie jacket.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. She shouldn't wear a modern hoodie jacket. That is the part that pisses me off. Because, the thing is, even if you look at over the fact that, even if you look over the fact that, oh, by the way, airships also were a bunch smaller or differently designed earlier. The new one is just like a ship with a balloon. Like, how the fuck did that happen? But yeah, and also her glasses. It's just modern glasses. Earlier ones also had glasses, but they were metal ones. They had metal rims. I'm sorry, that's the part I cannot look over. That's the thing that is weird, in my opinion. Because, yeah, even with the unintentional colonialist vibes, it just kind of get worse if you think about that visually. If they arrived, and still had visually this very, very low-tech feeling, you'd be like, okay, you know what? 2 parts are just linking up again. That happened. You still had to have a lot of things to talk about, and holy shit, does Wilds sometimes just flounder their own themes. Probably because it was rushed, but still. And but no, they come and have streetwear. And like, I'm sorry.
What game isn't rushed nowadays? Which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
that is probably the thing that, and you know, Ruben said it. I posted already on Twitter. It's like, I'm sorry. Why is Gemma naked on the belly? She's a smithy.
Like, if she's not smithing, okay.
Yeah.
But she stands like that on the smith.
First, like, here's the thing. She should wear an apron. Period. She should just have an apron. She's a smithy. And second of all, I know, big hair, but here's the thing. The side cut isn't the problem. The problem is she has just this big fucking ponytail. This hair will burn. She works on a forge and isn't wearing, like, a protective hat. Here's the thing.
So I'm fine with the hair, but she needs the hat.
That's
Yeah,
And
she
I
needs
want her
a
to
hat.
take off the hat and and reveal the ponytail, which
Yeah.
would be very, very
Yes.
hot.
Yes.
Yes.
You know,
I'm
here's
not
the
sure
thing.
if I've said this on stream before, but I very much love ponytails. Like, they are the superior hairstyle.
Ponytail appreciation round. They're really good. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think at least not the overriding reasons, but I think probably at least part of the reason for like these two designs, cosplay. Like this
Yeah,
makes cosplay easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
And you know what? I hate that. I just really hate that because, like, I mean, first of all that, but also, like, you know, if you make something, you know, if you make a character look appealing, let's just be real here. People make a lot of fan art. That's also just a fact. Like,
I will say, because there's a plus side to the cosplay perspective. I know probably about 15 people that would not have gotten into Monster Hunter if they hadn't discovered it through cosplay.
fair point, I'd say. But yeah, here's the thing. This was the Smithy in Sunbreak. She also has abs. She looks hot. Minali is, you know, she's a great design because she has an apron and she binds back her hair. She does exactly the things we critique about. But you know why they didn't? Yeah, but yeah, why didn't she get a lot of cosplay? Because her outfit is a little bit harder to pull off. And
There's a lot of interesting layers to the outfit, which make it hard to like determine what goes what.
I mean, I would
like
say they
how
should.
to make what and some other stuff.
I would still say she should maybe have a longer jacket and shit, but that's me. I'm very much like, I like outfits that are, you know, that are practical. So if you do practical stuff, especially on girls, that looks hot. The moment, you know, an outfit tries to be more sexy, I'm like, let them be practical.
Ruben, Ewe is independent. You should be.
By the way, have you all seen
Also,
look at the America. Look at America.
yeah. I was gonna say.
Oh, wait,
Common Confederate L. Common Confederate L.
Yeah, that is very funny.
Just turn your head, and it's very clearly an L.
Yeah, it's what. How the fuck? Yeah,
I guess Florida is based in this timeline.
but yeah.
I mean, isn't Florida investigating the Tate brothers not right now?
Oh yeah, they're doing that. The Tate brothers went to America,
yes.
but Florida's investigating them, which is okay. That's actually kind of funny. Weird plot twist and everything, but it is funny. 1 second, I will just readjust my avatar. Something happened here.
Also, I'm sure I have a feeling that Florida is probably gonna be they're gonna have very little issue with accepting the Romanian evidence.
Yeah.
Which
Also,
Romania
UK
is
wants
most
to
likely going to be
extradite
willing
them
to
to
turn
the
over.
UK as well, so they can be arrested. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I have a defensive pact with Russia.
Nice.
what's wrong with you?
Green unites.
No, boo, Russia.
Well, Russia isn't in Africa yet. If they are, then we can talk about
fair.
it. Also, Ewe is colonizing. Ewe is colonizing.
Who?
The country I just defended against Denmark, like on the Ivory Coast. They just colonized Gabon.
Ah.
Between Ruben and I.
Yeah,
I see it. It's very small. But yeah, that is legitimately my biggest problem with Monster Hunter Wilds right now. It's just
That's
they
not
just,
the biggest, but
it's one of the biggest ones that's like they just literally ditched their technology level and aesthetic just for mass appeal. Like that is one of the reasons I almost feel like
Well, they have sold a lot of games, so they're not doing too badly. it's kind of working
course.
in terms of mass appeal.
Of course, but
that's not an argument. That's actually like that's actually kind of even worse because like imagine this. You have like a game that has a very specific art direction, a very specific intent that makes it unique, and you make it more generic because that now,
More people buy it.
No, more people make fan art, more people buy it, more people make cosplay, and that's. I mean, it generally is like, oh hey, cosplayers are now like here's the thing. A lot of cosplayers basically rush to do cosplay the moment the game is out. And if the cosplay is, more complex, a lot less can do it. So a lot of companies are actually incentivized to make, more simplistic characters. But also, I fucking hate that. This just tastes wrong. That actually tastes like that's a personal thing, but I can only say it really leaves such a bad taste in my mouth that if I could ever get hold of Capcom, I would nuke this game from the canon just to eradicate this one part, and then reassure everyone, like, oh, you post cosplay of that? I would, DMCA takedown. Fuck you.
Come no.
It's a
Let
personal
them
thing.
post. Let them post.
You know what? I'm not mad at that. It's just the people should
Let
do
Nye
the right.
rant. Let Nye rant.
Again, everyone was like, "Oh, are you against cosplays?" No. This is just a personal thing. But also, I feel a bit offended because again, this series let me speak. Let me speak.
Can I? Sure.
No, I want to speak first. This series had a very, very special vibe, which is why I loved it. Which is why the series had its core fans that carried it for decades. And now, let's just be blunt here. You new people come in, and you basically tell Capcom, "Oh, we love making cheap cosplay, and we're giving you more attention with that." And like you are part of the problem, and do not be weirded out when I'm a little bit angry at you. Okay? Because you're the reason why this will continue.
This rant, if you add in, I'm not saying that you would ever say this, but add in like a couple of slurs, and I could see this being like a 4chan game.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels weird. Like the game had housed an acquired taste community, basically.
Yeah.
For how many years until World?
Over 10 years. It was
so
literally over a decade of just,
yes,
us weirdos.
Like a consistent, 3 to 5 million sales.
Yeah.
Then they had World, where they tried something different. Story-wise, I would say a good direction, similar to Wild's similar structure. World had a better structure, but adding a main story that's a bit more cinematic. Okay, I'm on it. More focus on ecological stuff aside from texts you can read. Also nice, like that.
Yeah.
But they also changed lots of gameplay mechanics that made the game what it is, technically. At least partially. And now Capcom is like, the more accessible and easier to get into we make it, the more people are coming, but the less Monster Hunter it is.
Yeah, the less it just is Monster, and it's like,
It's like, I'm happy for the people who find it, but it's also like,
yeah.
We talked yesterday about resource management. That's the same as if you go into an RTS and say we turn off base building. You don't need it. Yes, it's technically still the same core gameplay loop, but it's a different game.
Yeah. It just feels different. It's just...
Imagine removing the city building for every faction in Total War Warhammer. Yes, it would probably make it more accessible. And maybe there should be a faction that doesn't have that, but if the whole game removes that part, it's not directly integral, but it is a big part of the game to build buildings.
So they actually did that. With Total War Attila and some of the early stuff in Warhammer 1. They essentially removed the Empire building from it.
And people
with
disliked
the
it.
Horde gameplay.
Yeah, but imagine...
Actually, it was... So Horde gameplay was well liked by long-term fans. New people didn't like it too much. So it's actually an inverse here.
We're talking about removing it from the
So
game.
there was actually mixed. They didn't remove it from the game.
That's what we're talking about, though.
But what they
Yeah.
no. So what they did is they
Yeah, so it's not an accurate comparison at that point.
Yeah, it's not that. It's just like more like if it was just gone for everyone. That's the thing. That's the thing. If it was just cut out completely, it's just like, yeah, it's similar to when when in MMOs people were like there was an add-on in World of Warcraft where they said, people are doing all the same stat builds anyway, so we just automate them. They just lost half their player base with Mr. Pandaria. Whoops. They never recovered from that. They still...
Yeah, the argument is not, in my opinion, if you lose player or gain players. My point is just,
Yeah.
like, you remove an semi-integral part of the game.
Yeah. And like...
That can lead to a player loss, that can lead to a player increase. I'm just saying it's not really the same game anymore at that point.
Yeah, that's more the case. It's like... It's just like, yeah... I think the difference is more like old games are Monster Hunter. You learn the area, you track monsters. Like, you actually have to track monsters to a degree in an abstracted, simplistic way.
Yeah.
The newer ones are Monster Fighter. You just run to them and whack them. And yeah, the combat is still great. This is why they're fun. But yeah, the hunting part isn't in there anymore. It's even like... I think the big difference
so
between...
for example, with Worlds and Wilds, you're kind of... It's not... Like, narrative-wise, from what I'm seeing, is... You are entering this new area where there's not much, like, pre-known knowledge about the monsters and environment.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
So you're discovering these monsters, and with Wilds, for example, you're kind of... You are the first... The way I understand it is that you're essentially one of the first people to start fighting these monsters.
That's even
in Wilds.
That's another argument for what we said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see part of an exploration narrative for it where...
No,
that would be even more...
You're learning about them.
Yeah, that's even more in our case. You're not arguing against it. The thing is, you're just saying this is what the game goes
I'm
for.
not arguing against it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
That's how it sounds
that.
like.
I'm saying it narratively makes sense
No,
to me.
it really doesn't. The thing is, they kind of try to be like, hey...
Because, like, now, you have basically an auto map since World. So no, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
like you're in a new world, you shouldn't even have a normal map. You should have to make a map.
You always see where all the monsters are. You have all the information about all the monsters in the area. You don't need to actually track them in a sort. Tracking doesn't
that
even
was
like...
one of the things that bothered me when I played World was the fact that there was a map and it didn't feel like there was any exploration.
Well, that's the same in Wild still.
Yeah, that's like...
In Wilds, I'm managing to ignore it because I'm just not paying attention to the map much. Like, I don't use it much.
It's just kind of the same.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to in old games where it was like the map was an item you either had on you or not.
Or you had the skill for it.
Or you had the skill for it, yes.
Oh, the French are rebelling? Something? Someone is attacking them, I think.
Britain.
Nice.
But yeah, that's
what is
one
this flag.
What?
Oh, one of the British Raj subjects had invaded, and it's this tiny little piece. It's this tiny little country at the very bottom.
Ah,
But that is one hell of a flag.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
yeah. Okay. The thing is, wait a second. That is an interesting flag. Yeah.
Cool flag.
Yeah. The thing is, basically in the old games, you only saw the area you were in, And maybe, you know, if you actually paintballed a monster, which is more like you actually needed to learn where do monsters usually are, because, you know, they had their own, you know, behaviors, and it's like, okay, where is monster? And if you found it, you actually had to spend resources to keep tracking the monster. And
So you were incentivized to play fast.
yeah, and it was generally a lot more, and especially in high rank, the thing was, the big difference is, in low rank, you start at base camp, you get a map, and you get some supply items, because story-wise, the thing about low rank is, oh, it's safe, so they can actually send you in with resources. High rank is more like, it's not safe, the monsters are strong, we just drop you off. You're on your own. Meaning you don't start with a map, so you have to actually memorize the area. Wow, cool, that makes them, you know, memorable if you have to memorize them.
Or if you literally can't, slot in a skill which shows you the map.
Fair point. You have to bring your own resources, and you have to actually track the monster. That was just... It was simplistic, but it really was about, you know, finding and hunting something down. Meanwhile, in Wilds, it's like... you press up on the D-pad and you automatically run to your monster. I guess I can wrap up my what I mean when I say
Yeah, that and I find it a bit weird. Like we had this whole provisions thing you just talked about. Like we're an expeditionary force. Supply routes shouldn't be that well established in the beginning anyway, since you're an expedition. You could argue, like, to make it actually quote-unquote harder, so that it's not easy to bring in supplies even in low rank.
Yeah.
Not that it would change much with how little damage the monsters do in low rank, but it, in my opinion, would make more sense narratively for the world. Bit more immersion, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll say that with the supply lines thing for World, I can kind of understand it when I think about Hunter x Hunter. With that, like, imagine that kind of investment that they have for the whole, like, cross-ocean trip in Hunter x Hunter. And I'm assuming that there's something on, maybe not that whole scale, but in that general direction of scale.
I'm talking more about a hunter that hunts out in the wild, supplying them, because you don't have that many hunters, and if you have, they usually have different stuff to do. So, like, you on a mission should technically not, like, have base camps everywhere where you have a dimensional chest. You can get all the things you ever collected. That's my main problem. Like, especially, just think about it. Like, you have potions, mega potions, max potions, items to craft those things. You can take all those things with you in your inventory if you want. But if you fuck up and get lots of hits in, then it's basically, oh fuck, I'm out of healing. So either I maybe gather some supplies where I am, or I just try to finish the quest without it. That is some tension there.
So I would be more willing to accept those things in the inventory management if it actually let you categorize, lock, and like organize your inventory properly, which the game doesn't do.
Did the games before then?
So like the item slot, the item slots that you have, I want to reserve some of the item slots for specific items, even if I run out. Like if I run out of potions, I don't want to accidentally collect something and then not have room to craft potions.
You can just throw it out. You
stuff.
can just throw it out.
I have trouble doing that.
Well,
from like a
I can get that, but that's something.
Collection.
Yeah, but that's something like you would have to accept because you're a hunter out in the wild. But the cool thing about the old games in that sense is, like, you can't reserve them, even though that could be a quality of life feature, really. The cool thing is you can even put them in the specific order in your inventory how you want, and that's how you scroll through them. like as you organize your own
The UI
pockets.
for managing the inventory. The UI for managing the inventory in Wilds is terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's sadly to be expected. Like a rushed game,
Yeah.
where it's the worst, it's inventory.
Yeah.
Like you can.
UX always gets the axe with
Yes.
with
Yes.
even slightly rushed.
And-
even products that aren't rushed.
Yeah. I mean, also a thing is with the whole if you need to throw stuff away, they actually eased that up in later since the third generation, because in the base camp, which is also then good to know, there's a pelico actually with a barrel, and they're like, hey, I can bring back stuff to your item box, at home once. So the game is like, if you're overstuffed and you forgot to, leave something there, you can still send it back. It doesn't go in both directions, so still like
Yeah, because
to
they
commit.
need a long way home.
But if you really want to farm and be a bit more efficient, you can actually send stuff. Hey, Gov Stuff Girl, yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back.
So, which is it's like, I generally think this is actually like a really good compromise, I would say, because it gives you a bit more flexibility, but also it's still like, don't fuck up. Just don't do it.
I would say, so that barrel thing, they could probably even make it two-way, where it's like, oh, hey, I'm going to go back and get the items. Do you want me to bring anything back when I'm returning to where I am?
Well, the idea is that
And-
you probably need days to be there where you are in the older games
Yeah.
most of the time. So they're
Yeah. So like, that's the thing is, if you're spending days out in the wilds, then having that palico have the option to bring something back with a timer would be nice.
Well, yeah, generally I would say yes. You have to take into consideration probably the rank, because that is like the thing, like
Yeah.
how hard it is to get to the area as
Probably-
well. But low rank, for example, should have that. If it's a well-established area where the pelico can travel relatively safely, why not?
yeah, like this.
And you could even argue that these are palicos who have developed a special talent or skill or method, all
definitely.
for moving individual items into high-ranking areas.
I mean, they are already portrayed as they're sneaky. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
also,
mean, given the fact that my palico can Giga Chad tank a lightning dragon or whatever, that's great. Like,
yeah.
I mean, pelicos
I
are already like
find it
the
funny.
pelicos are already like the super felines, basically. They're like the.
Yes.
The feline that get become a pelico are like extraordinary already.
Yeah. Because pelico is the role. No, they're the species feline. Pelico is more the role they have. But yeah, interesting thing is, the key part to understand about this is that how's it called? Damn, I have a blockade again.
No.
The key part is that what I really liked about the old system is again, I think it abstracted the world, which made it feel bigger than it is in modern titles, just period. Second of all, it helped with the resource management aspect. That was pretty good. Third, and this is probably kind of important, this thing allowed for a very interesting staggering of skill sets, actually trained skill sets, because in low rank you are in a certain set of environments. You learn how the climate works. Like, for example, actually in old titles, the desert you needed cold drinks in the day, hot drinks during the night, and similar stuff was happening in other areas. And, you had to check, is this cave cold? Do I need hot drinks? And stuff like you learned, you learned areas and you learned rules of areas. Then the game throws you into them with a random starting position and only your own resources. Then it's like, okay, do you have the map memorized? Are you prepared? Use your learned skills. Cool. And then in the really good ones, they then threw in unique areas in G rank, But G rank still ran on the same rule set as high rank, so they threw you into new areas that you didn't know. So now it was not only are you prepared for the environment, but you were actually also like, can you learn the thing on your own? And that was cool. I need a cold drink and a hot lady. We all need a cool drink and a hot lady.
You know what this made me realize? Mm-hmm. The issue with expanding to a wider audience isn't the mechanics, which you can stagger in introducing them. It's actually, and I don't think it's specifically the things that you were talking about. It's the onboarding process. It's how you tutorialize all the systems of a game. Modern tutorials are literally just shove a window in your face and be done with it. There's no good or narrative tutorializing done anymore. There used to be some good tutorializing that happened, and I forget which games it was. I think Fallout 4 did this actually really well, if I remember correctly.
Bethesda games are actually not that bad, yeah.
And basically, it introduces you to all the like small bits of the systems gradually and in a interactive and fun way. Nowadays, and so I think, especially with the declining attention spans of people, due to various situations and problems, I think it's even more important that games have these more robust introductions to their systems.
I mean, there are literally guides online how to play multiplayer in Wild, so I don't think they succeeded on that.
Yeah. I mean, okay, the multiplayer system is just on a technically weird level.
It is.
Well, in the first place, there's always going to be guides for everything.
Yeah, true.
Someone's going to have, especially when you're a large franchise, you're going to get someone who's like, oh, I want to write this down. Or I have to write this down, either because they can't think of it otherwise, or because they just have their brains are just wired that way.
By the way,
they want to do this.
I have not seen Quarks yet. No. Sadly, I wish I could, but haven't seen it yet. We're still waiting for April here.
Probably gonna head to bed now, if that's okay. Sorry to interrupt there again.
You know what?
It's getting kind of late.
You probably had a long day. You know what?
Yes,
it's fine. We're almost at 19. We made some progress. I colonized a lot. Ethiopia's Tonga.
We got a decade in.
Yeah.
Ethiopia, older or larger?
You know what? I have to question now. Do we want to keep going a little bit more?
What? Huh?
Streaming, I mean. It's just 1 a.m.
Also, question: can you colonize malaria stuff already?
Yes.
Then you should probably get.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I'm also going into Congo. No worries. Ethiopia takes the center part.
I'm just trying to save it from Britain.
You what a lot? What? I wanted to say, do we do after Ruben? Ruben, you can leave, by the way. What's nice having you here?
Okay.
Good night.
We'll save him. Yeah.
Okay, no.
Night, Ruben.
Bye bye. Have fun.
Because we usually stream a bit longer. It's more like, do you want to finish, or do we want to slot in a bit of Monster Hunter since we just kept talking about it anyway?
Well, normally we play Helldivers, right?
No, normally we play Helldivers. Yeah, that's more up to who wants. We can also do Monster Hunter. That's the thing. Because it's currently topical. And I want some progress.
I'm fine with either. I'm not sure if I'm able to join.
Probably not. Because
I've just recently beat I beat the Sparky Boy.
Sparky Boy?
There's several of those.
The flying one.
A Wyvern.
The
Please don't call it dragon.
Yeah, it's Wyvern.
I don't think I was calling it. I don't think I called it a dragon. I think I may have almost called it a dragon.
Yes. I just wanted to tell you. There's actually in one standard.
I know the difference between dragons and wyverns. I know it.
Yes.
I just sometimes forget.
No. That's just Monster Hunter specific. If you go to history, basically, they didn't make the distinction Monster Hunter does.
Yeah.
But also a lot more series I've seen are making that differentiation between dragons and wyverns.
Yeah, I presume they're influenced from Monster Hunter.
Very much, I'd say.
Probably.
Again, this is
And
just...
it kind of makes sense in some manner, especially if you're considering dragons a special existence separate from from like the concept of a lesser dragon.
Well, the idea is that they're a different evolutionary line. Like wyverns have their front feet as wings, and dragons have at least 4 feet and separate wings.
Yeah.
That goes back a long way. Like, they're like wyverns separate from dragons and very distinct in like Heroes of Might and Magic 3, which came out in like the mid '90s.
Yeah.
So that does. I think. Like, I'm pretty sure. I want to say that's somewhere in like D&D, but I don't know where.
Yeah, it's
D&D
also in
comes from.
D&D the case.
Yeah, so it goes back decades.
I will say the argument for Helldivers, we can technically do Oops All Mines now.
I don't know if I want to do Oops All Mines stuff.
Because they released the
gas mines,
the gas mines. So.
I mean, again, the
And
thing
there's
is...
currently a mission order for destroying like millions of bots.
Ooh. I mean, you know what? Chat, do you rather want to see Helldivers 2 or Monster Hunter Wilds? I guess we can leave it up to chat. This is now... The fate of the stream is in your hands. I mean, I basically we probably would finish up the high rank story and then start building. I just enjoy being here. That's not helpful. Nothing against you. It's just it's fair, but still, I'm like choice paralysis.
Yeah. So the major order is.
Oh hey, Beyond, how are you doing? We're currently deciding: do we want to stream some Helldivers, or oh yeah, have a good one, and good luck with modding. Moderating, not modding. Yeah, we currently want to decide Monster Hunter Wilds or Helldivers 2. It's up to you, chat. And Beyond, if you want to,
the Helldivers 2 major order is for both Terminids and Automatons.
Ooh, the classics.
Yes.
You know what? I'm already just going to save this one because most are out, and I hope a certain other girl is not making any more changes.
No. I'm just looking.
Good. I'm just here to jabber. I mean, hey, do you want to join the call to jabber or just jabber in the chat? That's up to you. Sometimes been here, so yes, we have more people talking. Okay.
I will drop.
You can also stay if you want, but yeah.
Well then, good night.
Yeah. Night.
Yeah. I'll switch over to layout stuff.
Okay.
Good night.
Also, hey Beyond, how are you doing? Hope the chaos is dying down a bit.
You're still muted on Discord, by the way, if you didn't notice.
Oh, so I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's still chaos. Still, my job is still under threat at work. But,
Okay. It was like
there's nothing we can do about it. I'm just gonna sit here with this guillotine sitting over my head. So,
that sucks.
Yeah, so just sitting here with the guillotine. It's not great. So, anyways, looking for new work. Obviously, like it's just other people have been disappearing from departments, and like it's functionally a layoff because like now there's also I don't even want to talk about it because like it is I've essentially already been laid off, and the guillotine just hasn't dropped yet. So like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like why should I even do work if I know that it's going to happen? You know, like
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Why should I care?
You want to hear something train related?
Okay, what is going on?
Some of the tracks going between London and Paris are getting some renovations done apparently.
Yeah, okay. That
While
was,
they were doing some of the excavation for the tracks, someone found a 500 kilogram bomb.
yeah, that's also
So, trains have been going over a possible dud bomb for the past however many years.
that is a normal thing actually. Yeah.
I was gonna say doesn't this happen in Europe all
It
the time?
happens a lot.
Where some guy, like some French farmer, will just like get his ass blown up because there's some unexploded ordnance from like a century ago. just
Usually
sitting
they
there.
don't explode, but yeah, when we dig here, they usually find stuff. Again, I've been multiple times in the blast radius of an of an discovered bomb, and only then found out later, like, oh shit, I could have died if someone fucked up, or at least majorly wounded. Yeah, but yeah, still the question is, Helldivers 2, Monster Hunter Wilds. You know what? At this point, Agonia, Zeb, what do you want more?
I'm fine with both. We could help Zeb's story mission.
We could do it if Zeb wants that.
Yeah.
Sure, but why not?
Okay, Monster Hunter Wilds story mission.
Then I will not hear you all anymore because I take my headphones down to the PS5.
Yeah, you have to play on the PS5.
Well, so specifically for I'm at this point where I'm not sure about specifically. My intention wasn't to specifically go after the story mission right now. I wanted to actually rehunt the fish thing and the Sparky Wyvern.
Yeah, then we kill that one.
Because I want their tails basically to craft gear.
Yeah, then we do that.
we could do that, yeah, no problem. I mean, yeah. I would generally just say, tell you, kind of end as a story because it's not that relevant.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't have a new armor aside from the Hope set yet, sure, do one, but just be aware, as soon as you enter high rank, you need a new armor anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a mishmash of some armor, and it's like some partial I've upgraded some of the bone set and some of the I'm blanking out on the name again, Sand Noodle.
Yeah.
I've got some of
Valahara.
that. Yeah. So I've got some of those armors leveled up, so I'm manageable, but I could tell during the recent fights I had last time I played that I was a bit under-equipped.
Really?
It was still manageable. But...
I would probably rather focus on you getting a good weapon. That's more the case, but...
Oh, yeah, no, like, definitely, the weapon is my key thing right now. The armor is okay, because I've upgraded it,
yeah,
but my weapon I want.
The one you have a good weapon, that's that. But you know what? That's fine.
Then we farm you everything you want.
We farm you that, and then we will help you. And if you are stuck in story stuff, I can go fishing! Woo! Anyway.
I can collect pollen.
Oh, yes, you can. Because you farm flowers. That's the end game farm. You farm flowers. It's okay. Anyway, you know what? Everyone, this was Wiki 3. Thank you for tuning in. Stay there. Don't tune out. Reload the page. We will be right back with some Monster Hunter. See you then. Bye.